All right, we're going to get started with session 9. We missed a couple weeks ago, so we're catching up. Just to kind of do a quick recap. So last session, Marcus discovered some hemlock. He's kind of sneakily discovered some hemlock in Leon's jacket pocket, which he showed to Bunk. Bunk then accused Leon of poisoning Georgia with that hemlock. At some point during the night, as Macaulay was sort of keeping watch over her, Georgia regained some consciousness, just long enough to say the word child, which Macaulay was not entirely sure what that meant. Macaulay went through Leon's backpack during the course of the evening and discovered a brick of C4. And then during the course of that evening, John and Georgia both die. John's death caused Frank to lash out at Silas, which resulted in a bit of a not necessarily a standoff. It was a fight that I don't think Frank was really ready for. Silas caved in the side of Frank's skull with a fire poker, killing Frank. Peter, the Russian guy, questioned Marcus about the letter that was in Russia. In Russian. Actually, Marcus asked Peter about the letter, and then Peter had some questions of his own. You guys held a funeral for Georgia, John, and Frank. During the funeral, Leon kind of pushed Bunk over the edge to go look for some hemlock to poison Leon. He put it in the stew after serving stew to everybody as sort of like a moment of fellowship, so to speak. He poisons the stew. Alex, there was a bit of a confrontation during the funeral, and Alex was trying to make a quote unquote peace offering. And Leon pretty willingly ate that stew, almost as though he understood that he was being poisoned. And then kind of just went off to his bed to die. And you guys kind of feel like maybe this is a good time to get the fuck out of here. Peter had mentioned that he had a plan for, like, he had a destination in mind for where he was going to go. After Leon dies, Rebecca's the daughter, seemed very confused and frustrated about her father's death, and she turned to Macaulay and asked, I thought you were supposed to help him. And that was kind of where we left it off. But that was sort of it. We kind of left it off there. I think you guys had sort of tossed around the idea of potentially orchestrating something with Peter in terms of getting the fuck out of Dodge. And that's kind of where we left it off. So, as Ryan mentioned, some of you guys have some stress. Not sure if you guys want to maybe take a little bit of a beat and maybe get some rest to recuperate.
I think I napped through a lot of shit, so all my stress is gone. I think. Well, I think I got one stress. But after all that crap in the pit and all that, that's the first thing I did, so I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good everywhere. I think I don't think I had a lot to roll last time, so I didn't really roll much.
Okay.
I'm out of water. I do need to look for some water at some point.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you guys are more than welcome to, if you can spend a shift of time doing whatever you want. If you want to go forage for water, you can forage for water. If you want to rest for the sake of reducing some stress, you can do that. If there's, your choices are up to you. You guys kind of got some downtime right now. Although,
I think Mark.
Go ahead.
Or I was going to say, if we're still at the cabin, Marcus would like to get a little bit of quick shut out of kind of recoup.
Okay. So just in general, not Silas. Bunk, you're gonna go look for water. Is that what I heard?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's best if I'm not there. And did I dump out the rest of the stew, or I forget? Did I just poison that one cup?
Yeah, I think you poisoned the entire kettle.
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna like dump out the stew. Make sure nobody
Okay.
gets any more stew.
So
I can keep watch or whatever.
Okay.
If
Keep
anybody
watch.
else is gonna.
Sure.
I'll go with Bunk. I have not interested in drinking water, but I think some fishing for Silas would be nice if he can find a stream.
Okay. So before you guys kind of head out, Peter sees Marcus heading to one of the cots to kind of rest up and get some shut-eye, and he kind of motions to Silas, and he's like, come. It's like, let's go talk in the corner.
All right.
So
I'm there.
Peter approaches you, and is Bunk still here too? You kind of like
I'm still here,
okay.
and I'm gonna turn the lights down a little bit.
Sure.
Still here.
So he gets Bunk and Silas together, and he says, "You mentioned perhaps this is not the best place to stay. Do you have intentions to leave?"
Eventually, yes. I believe Bunk here needs some water. You mentioned you knew where water was. We were gonna figure out where that was and go get some water for drinking eventually, but also if there's a stream. Man, this has been stressful. I would love to go fishing, maybe catch some dinner.
There are streams, small streams all over this valley. We've come down from the pass. We can find water. It will be a hike, but we can find water. That's not a problem. I'm sure there are fish.
That's good.
So, I don't know if you have any specific intentions in terms of where you plan to go. But as I have mentioned to your friend, and he points at Marcus, who is now sort of cozying into his resting position. You know, he's got his sleeping bag pulled up. It looks like a little cocoon.
We barely know that guy. We kind of marched here under threat with him, so I don't know. I don't know if we're friends yet.
This is whatever your terms. I have a plan that's been in the works for quite a while. It is complicated, and he pulls out the letter, and he says, "Your friend who had this letter. He does not know what it is, but I do. This plan I speak of requires two components. This letter is one. I believe you have the other component. He says that he doesn't. I believe you know what this other component is, yes?"
So out of character right now, like I don't believe he ever told us that he had anything.
Okay.
Silas would say like, no, I don't know what you're talking about.
Am I in this huddle as well?
Sure. Yeah, we'll say yes.
Okay, I didn't know. All right. I also have a puzzled look on my face, like I don't know anything.
So he pauses for a minute, and he, yeah, whatever. He's like, no matter. If you say you saw what you saw, and you found this letter on 3 dead bodies, I believe there's a good chance that one of you has this other component. So this plan, It will accommodate up to 6 people. I mean, there is you, the 4 of you, there's me, and there is Alex. I feel like Alex would be worth bringing with us if you are so amenable.
Isn't Alex here with somebody? Like, do they travel as a pair?
Alex will have to say yes or no, but this plan will only accommodate 6 people. I have no interest in bringing Maya. Alex will have to make his own decisions.
Got it. Any other details about this vague plan, or you're not willing to divulge that until we say yes or no?
Well, obviously, when I created this plan, I didn't create this plan for 6 random strangers. I planned this plan for myself and 5 other people. So when you found this body, your friend, he said he found it on 3 dead bodies, but I know there were 2 more. Do you know where those 2 other people are?
What did they look like?
Well, they would have been the only 2 other Russians you would have found in central Colorado.
I would have said they don't usually walk around carrying their flag. And then we couldn't very well speak to them. So
You
see
may
a lot
not
of
have
dead
been able to
bodies.
communicate with them, but they would have spoken. So I'll ask my question again. Do you know where these other 2 people are?
well, I kind of look and make eyes at you, and I'm like, we saw. I mean, this was over by. What was the name of that? What was the name of that place with the safe and everything? It was a something
Like
inn, right?
it was like a ski lodge, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a ski
The ski
lodge.
lodge.
And I'll say this was over by the ski lodge. Is where we found your other friends. So I don't recall. There was a lot of very smelly dead people in there, very disintegrated. I don't know if maybe one of those is one of the Russians you're looking for, but
So he slowly, but very intently, pulls a gun from his holster, and he moderately implies that he is going to shoot you. And he says, "Do I have any reason to wait for my friends?"
to wait for your friends. I don't believe they're alive.
So he gets up and he aims it straight in your face. And he says, "Do I have any reason to believe that you might have killed my friends?"
I'm
don't know.
I'm reaching for my fire poker right now.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know why you think we would have killed anybody.
So he's like, "We'll see." And he like he's still got the gun on you. He starts walking over to Marcus. He just kicks the bed. "Get up. Get the fuck up." He looks at Marcus and he says, "Do you have any idea what happened to my other 2 friends? They've already told me where they are. What do you know?"
Be like, huh? I was sleeping. I'm gonna kind of look bewildered and kind of look at Silas and Bonk like real quick, just like this guy's got a gun trained at me, right? Or is it still trained on them?
It's on bunk right now.
It's not bunk.
And he just looks at Marcus. He's like, "It's fine as long as you tell me same story they tell me. Everything's fine."
It's like in character, Marcus is gonna say there was a lot of dead bodies. I told you I found that note. There was 2 other dead people near that person, but if you're looking for 2 other bodies, there was a lot of other bodies back there.
They've been dead for a while when we got there. I don't know
So
what the hell happened there, but it was gross.
Macaulay is seeing all this happen. And so he's gonna say, first the 3. Now there are us 9. 12 is holy. I will not falter this time and contribute to the cleanse. Tonight we'll all embrace the void. And he pulls out the C4 and shoots it.
All right. So, Macaulay shoots the C4. First thing I want to do is describe what happens to Macaulay. And this is all happening in like bullet time. C4 explodes, and you just see Macaulay's arm just explode down towards his shoulder and his chest. His entire body just disintegrates into pieces. Rebecca is standing there with him, holding his hand. Her entire body just blows apart. Maya, by now the whole explosion has started to move outward. Parts of the roof have started to cave down. Maya gets trapped underneath a piece of timber. She gets impaled. She dies almost instantly. Carol sees it all happen. She doesn't even care. You catch a glimpse on her face as though she says, "Oh, thank God, it's finally over." Sam, as soon as Sam saw Macaulay raise the C4 above his head, he started running towards Macaulay. He gets blasted in the face. His whole head gets taken off. And Alex gets blasted out back towards the opposite side of the cabin. His whole right arm is taken off by the blast, and he's unconscious. I need everybody else to roll 10d6.
Oh my God. The fuck is happening?
Does stress have anything to do with this, or just 10d6 base?
You just need to roll 10d6.
What is happening?
So for every 6 you rolled, you're going to take 1 point of damage. And I need each of you to describe to me how the C4 blast affected you. We'll start with Marcus. What happened to you when this C4 blast hit you?
And as far as the blast radius, how far away am I from the detonation point?
You're
and,
maybe...
And am I still laying... Sorry.
So you're probably 10 to 15 feet away from the epicenter of, like, all of you are kind of over in the corner away from him, but like certainly within the blast radius of Macaulay's C4 detonation.
Okay, so I guess Marcus would have had like a split second to see this detonation in his like rolled up bed roll or whatever, is going to try to roll away from that off of the bed, like with one arm. Like, are these like sturdy beds or are they like racks?
They're more like cots.
Okay, yeah. So as he's falling away from the blast, still like legs in a sleeping bag, I guess, just with his arm on the top of the rack, pulling it down, trying to cover as much of himself as he can. But he did take 2 points of damage.
Okay. Silas, what happens to Silas?
I'm hoping I'm near a door. If I'm near the front door, I would like to be thrown out. Like, I don't know, how far would one go? I have 0 experience here. Like 15 feet. Sure.
Yeah, we'll say you take you take some of this blast and it knocks you just clear out of the cabin door into the front. Bunk, what happens to Bunk?
Well, Bunk was standing there with his hands raised like this. The moment that blast went, all he could do was kind of cover his eyes a little bit.
Okay.
I think there was like like wooden bunk beds that must have gotten exploded because these giant wooden splinters, just like on like an old timey ship battle, just all fill up his arm as he's thrown fucking backwards into a wall, cracks his head,
Mm-hmm.
and everything goes black for him. So he's knocked the fuck out.
Okay.
And I think one of those giant splinters hit his brachial artery right here as I'm going like this.
Okay.
And so I'm bleeding real bad and I'm unconscious.
Was anybody reduced to 0 hit points by that?
No.
No. Okay. Cool. I got to make a quick roll.
I was.
She give you the Kool-Aid when we weren't looking? What the fuck?
Seriously.
My guy was a voidoid the entire time.
Yeah, Macaulay was a child of the void.
My whole plan was to kill you from the beginning.
Macaulay's been on a suicide mission from session 1.
Son of a bitch.
So I failed, obviously, but I killed myself.
No, you killed Rebecca, Maya, Carol, Sam, and you nearly killed Alex. Peter, that can't be right. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go. Peter's going to take some damage as well. But yeah, as all of this occurs, you know, the entire roof has been blown off of this place. Part of the wall has been blown away. The structure is completely compromised. It's barely even considered a shelter anymore. Parts of the wood are smoldering, and let's have Bunk, since you described yourself as being knocked unconscious, why don't you give me a stamina roll?
4 + 1.
Okay, cool. So you were knocked unconscious, but not for like any significant amount of time, just long enough to be, you know, out for a second, but you have kind of shaken it off and you're still a little bit disoriented, but you're coming back around. Silas, you were blown out through the front of the cabin. The door.
I took like 2 points of damage, so let's say I hit my head on, like, I don't know, we were sitting on tree stumps or something, so I probably hit my head on one of them.
Okay. Yeah, we wouldn't need roll for that. But so basically all of you are now surrounded by just debris from this explosion. There are parts of bodies, there are dead bodies, there are you know, the smell of acrid smoke from the burning wood. Peter is you're discovering is remarkably robust. He stands up and kind of shakes it off. What do you guys want to do?
I'm gonna get up and kind of like shake the stars out, you know, a little bit and walk towards the ruined door. Is it like actively on fire, or was it just like a concussive blast that
I would say that there are parts of it that are burning, but not in the sense that it's like a raging inferno. There's just, you know, there's some remnant flames that are just kind of hanging out as a function of the blast.
So I want to walk in, and since I was standing next to Bunk, I assume he's closer to the door than others.
Correct.
And if I spot him unconscious on the floor, I would immediately like under his armpits and drag him out the door.
Okay.
I'm conscious at this point, he said, but I'm like on all fours, just like.
Yeah, you're conscious, but you're not. Yeah, you're
hard.
Exactly. You're kind of you're conscious, but not with it. Yeah.
All right, so I'm like, you got to get out of here, big. Got to get out of here. So I'm dragging him out to the front.
Sure. Okay. And to that end, you can kind of hear that like parts of the roof are starting to like fall. Like you can hear that like things are kind of creaking a little bit. You can hear the sound of Alex, who is alive but has lost a limb. He's just sort of like, Maya. He's trying to find Maya. He is every bit as confused as the rest of you, dazed and sort of trying to come to terms with everything. But he is kind of in shock. He finally makes it to his feet and he's walking around almost as if he's not aware that he's lost his right arm.
So I would call out, like, if I hear Alex, like, Alex, Bunk is bleeding out here. Because I don't know he has a missing arm yet. Right.
So Alex hears you cry out to him, and he comes running out the door, and he's like, he's obviously in shock, not really coherent, but he's like, where's Bunk? I'll get Bunk. But you see him standing there.
Like,
he's missing his entire right arm.
Like, your arm is gone. What the fuck?
And he, for the first time, kind of realizes it, and he looks down at it, and his right arm is gone, and you can see him. He's just sort of like, he starts hyperventilating, and it's starting to occur to him, and he just can't. Well, let's see if you can hack it.
It's not shit.
Oh God, no, he cannot hack it.
It was Macaulay.
He falls to his knees and then just kind of rolls over onto his left side. He is still bleeding out. Inside, you can hear Peter like trying to get Marcus back up on his feet. He's like, we have to get the fuck out of this building.
It's gonna cost
I guess
you.
Where Marcus like flipped that rack on him, the blast pushed him, I guess, into it like a fireplace or a stone wall, like jamming his knee, because I did take some damage. So I want, like, Marcus can be like, what the fuck was that? Like, not knowing what the fuck's going on. The rack kind of on top of him. He hears Peter. He's like, help me get this rack off me and help me to my feet. I've fucked my knee up.
Okay, so I need you to give me a force roll. He's going to help you with this, so he's also going to roll a force roll.
Okay, I've got 0 force, so that's just my strength.
So it'd just be your strength.
And I've still got the stress. I'm taking it. I didn't get any sleep, so what does that do for my roll?
You just roll that number of stress dice.
All right, here we go.
Fuck yeah. All right, so despite the fact that Peter was completely useless in helping you lift this off you, you managed to push it off just enough to be able to roll out from underneath it, and you can start hearing the main joist that runs along the center of the ceiling. It's starting to crack, and you can hear it going. So I need you to make an agility roll.
Fucker, stop it.
Agility. Give me a mobility roll.
Mobility, so that's agility plus mobility. And okay.
Peter is helping you, so you can add +2 to that. So whatever your roll is, add 2 to it, because Peter's like got you.
6, and then 6 plus 2, and then my stress die. Here we go.
Okay, perfect. So you like everybody outside can hear that like the cabin is slowly starting to collapse, and as it starts to sort of like get to its tipping point where it's starting to fall in on itself, you just see Peter and Marcus just rushing out the front door, and they make a last ditch jump, and right as the entire cabin just completely collapses into a giant heap, and just dust and air kind of like blows in your face. But Marcus and Peter manage to get out. So now, you guys are all outside of this collapsed cabin that is moderately smoldering. How would you like to proceed?
Bleeding to death.
Marcus would like to look up from like where he's landed on the ground in Silas and Bunk's direction, and be like, "What the fuck did your guy just do?"
I have no idea right now. I'm worried about Alex just passed out. His arm is gone, and there's a lot of blood. Bunk is bleeding. I don't know how to stop this exactly, but I'm trying. So I probably still have some duct tape in my bag, and I'll try and use it like a tourniquet if I can get high enough up on his arm to see if I can slow this down.
And Ryan,
Yeah,
what
that-
happened to the two trail angels that were here?
They
were
got
they like out on patrol?
They got smoked.
Oh,
They
okay.
yeah, they're both vaporized.
They
I
did.
have. I'm conscious, and I'm kind of starting to get with it, and I'm looking at my arm as I'm laying. They're like, I got more electrical tape in my bag, and I got this multi-tool. Use the multi-tool to get the splinters out of my brachial and seal it up.
Okay.
I'm trying to tell them what to do, and I'm like, give me some fucking whiskey. Dump some whiskey on it.
All right.
All right, so I do all those things that he asked.
Okay. So I would say at this point, Bunk is stable. Still hasn't healed anything, but he's stable. Peter, sort of, he gets up and he starts assessing the situation. He kind of looks at Bunk. He's like, "Are you going to make it, old man?"
I survived worse than this. I'm just taking a big old pull off the whiskey.
He's like, "Okay." And he goes over to Alex and he turns to Silas. He's like, "Do we have a tourniquet?"
I show him the duct tape. I was like, "This is the best I've got. I don't have anything else."
Peter kind of
There's electrical tape.
Electrical tape and duct tape. He's like, "That's unfortunate," and just pops Alex right in the head. He gets down on one knee and just kind of like picks Alex's head up after just blowing the back of it out, and he's just like, "I'm sorry, my friend," and then lays him down on the ground.
I'm like, "All right, I guess you decided he wasn't gonna make it."
I sit right up and start acting better real quick. I'm feeling way better. Everything's I'll be all right.
So as you guys are sort of doing this triage and sort of reconciling the what now scenario that you find yourself in, off in the distance, you can hear a voice. It sounds like it's urgently calling out. But you hear a voice off in the distance yell, "Georgia!" And then you hear
Georgia was the lady that was hemlock poisoned, right?
Leon's wife, yeah, the one that was she was being poisoned with hemlock. And a couple of seconds go by, and you guys you realize that you've heard this voice. And a couple of seconds later, you hear it again, "Georgia!" And you can hear. Now it's getting close enough that you can hear somebody is running towards you. Shane, would you like to introduce your new character?
Yeah, and then a figure comes out of the woods and stops when he sees the destruction of the explosion that he heard, and he sees you guys standing around. He's got dark hair, like smoky eyes, a little bit of beard. He's got an open, like, Sherpa trench coat with some fancy necklaces. He looks like he's ready for a show. But then he comes up and he's like, "Oh my God, is everyone okay? Have you guys seen Georgia?"
I'm like,
Just kind
who the
I just kind of look at him.
fuck are you?
And then he's like, "Oh, sorry, I'm Dorian Danger," and he like goes like this, and like sparks and flame and smoke here from his hand.
Did you say Dorian Danger?
Yeah, Dorian Danger. You might have heard of me. Street magician. Before the Civil War. Now I lead the Dangerous Dreamweavers. It's my group. Georgia is part of that group. I came to like bring her back. She left angry, and I was trying to fix the whole situation, bring her back so she could join our group again. So last I saw, she was traveling with some creepy preacher who I'm pretty sure was a voidoid. But I lost track of her when I took a nap a little bit longer than I should have. And then I heard the explosion. And now I see you guys and a lot of dead bodies. So I'm hoping that she's not one of them.
Just
I'm
missed her.
hoping that your magic is way fucking better than sparks out of your fingers because she died. That creepy preacher was a voidoid, poisoned her to death, and now a bunch of other people are dead too.
Oh, he like,
Welcome to the party, pal.
fuck. Oh, how did all this happen? Like, I was asleep for 5 extra minutes. Oh my god. Okay. And he's just like trying to process everything. And he starts shuffling his cards because it helps him think a little bit.
Do any of them shine with a purpley glow?
No, I
Not
wish.
cool. Not cool enough.
Just like, okay.
So
So-
Peter's like, you come from another group.
Yes. Yeah, me and Georgia, we were part of this other group.
Was her husband part of the group?
Husband? Yeah, Georgia didn't have any husband when she left. I mean, we kind of had like maybe an off and on thing, but I don't think she would have called us husband and wife.
How did you lose her?
Okay. I'm just gonna throw all the cards on the table, guys. Because it seems
like the
you
cards
really
that you're holding, or
Cards.
I love how I love
intended.
the puns.
But because I can see you guys are really distressed and you're looking at me like maybe I just blew you up, but I
no,
didn't.
we saw who blew us up.
Look,
So-
nothing like you, friend.
Sounded a
So-
lot like you.
So we were part of a group, and actually Georgia used to be the matriarch of the group, and then she brought me in, and I just have like, I guess, these amazing leadership skills, and so people were like, you know
I don't
what?
see it. Peter interrupts you. He's like, I don't see it.
just got this. I guess I just have like this undeniable charisma. I don't know, but they voted me in and kicked her out. Actually, okay, they didn't kick her out. She left. But then they said that if I didn't bring her back, I couldn't come back. And so I need her to come back. So if you are joking and she is alive, Georgia!
I take a pull and I say, "Go get her. She's in there." And I put a thumb towards the fucking flaming building.
Well, fuck.
So, at this point, Peter's like, I don't know who this fuckboy is. Georgia is dead. There's no ifs or buts about it. This group you're describing, are they looking for you?
They're probably waiting for one of us to return, if not both.
Perfect. He pulls his gun out. He puts it right in your face. He's like, so they won't miss you if I kill you right now.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa. They probably would, but I mean, I'm very handy.
Handsy.
Bong says, "Shoot him."
But hey, and he starts like pulling stuff up off of his the things out of his sleeves to distract him, and then he wraps it around the gun and tries to whip out the gun out of his hand.
Oh,
Okay.
God.
So give me a mobility roll.
No,
Tonight was the night that Shane got to play 3 characters.
He's having some fun tonight.
7, 8. Okay.
Okay. So, you know, you perform your scarf trick and manage to wrangle the gun out of Peter's hand. It falls to the ground, and Peter looks more annoyed than anything else, and he's just like, "Pick it up."
And so I reach down and pick it up, and I'm like, dust it off. I'm like, hey, see, no ill will. I can be handy. I'm like good with locks and stuff. I'm also obviously very charming.
Again, I don't see it.
I turned to him like, "That was a pretty cool trick, though." I'm like bleeding to death. I'm like, "That was pretty cool."
So Peter's like, "Do you know of a place where we can find shelter? You said you came from a group."
Yeah, we can make my way back to this group. But I would please, you guys gotta vouch for me and say that I at least tried to bring Georgia back, but to no avail.
Guess your magic isn't that good then.
I mean, depends on the circumstances, but I'm no necromancer.
So, Peter's just like, whatever, right? Fucking fool. He goes over to Marcus. And he's just sort of like, I feel like our conversation was derailed. I'm going to do away with the theatrics and just ask you, do you have the bullion, or yes or no? Do you have the gold bullion?
Marcus is going to look him dead in the eyes and say, "What bullion?"
Give me a persuasion check, and you're going to have to...
Okay, and for my empath talent, it says I can push any skill roll based on empathy twice.
Yeah, so you'll need...
It says
So you're just all you need to do, because he's going to roll for insight. All you need to do is get more successes than he does to be able to convince him otherwise.
You said that was persuasion?
Yep, persuasion.
And my 3 stress die.
Jesus Christ, 3.
Got him.
Well, you're... Peter, he's not sure what to make of it. He's just... You get the impression that maybe it's the fact that everybody's just been blown up by C4 and they're struggling with the reality of things. Maybe he's distracted by Dorian's new arrival. Whatever it is, you're not entirely sure that he believes you, but you do get the impression that he doesn't want to push the issue, that he's just going to let it go. He's just like, all right, whatever. It's a shame. I have a very elaborate plan. He looks at Dorian and he's like, I know where to find shelter. It is admittedly not the safest place unless one of you has an in with the Sovereign Vanguard. But if your group hideout, so to speak, is nearby, perhaps we can go there first.
Okay, I'm gonna be a little bit. I'm gonna put some more cards on the table. I don't actually know how to get back to my group. I was hoping Georgia was gonna help me get back that way.
What are you? Bunk says.
Peter just sort of shrugs his shoulders. He's like, yeah, whatever. We'll he's like, I vote that we move forward with my plan. He looks at Dorian and he's like, we will tolerate you until you seem to be more hassle than you're worth.
Appreciate it. But please call me the Danger.
I will not be doing that.
Okay, that's fine too.
Totally fine. Totally fine.
Marcus wants to ask Peter, like, you know, I don't know of this bullion, but can you tell us of your plan? Is there something maybe we can find on the way to your plan that would, like, take the place of this bullion? If you let us know what you're planning, maybe we can work something out.
There is no substitute. I see no harm in telling you my plan, seeing as how if you attempt to double cross me, I'll just kill you all.
Yeah, you'll shoot us in the head. We get it.
Yes. Or cut your throat while you sleep, or poison you with hemlock. He's like, I have coordinated an effort to smuggle me and my friends out of this shithole of a country and into Canada. It is a very lengthy plan, requires a lot of coordination, there is a lot of front-end setup. But this letter guarantees me and 5 others passage through this smuggling operation. It also requires a bit of gold. It's such a shame that none of you seem to have the gold that was also on the people that were in possession of this letter. Nonetheless,
I turn and I look at Silas and I say, you have any of this fucking bullion he's talking about? Do you know what the fuck he's talking about?
I don't. I mean, we could go back that direction and look. I don't know.
I look at Marcus and I say, did you find any fucking bullion when we were in that place in that fucking ski lodge.
Marcus wants to look at him with like very straight, pointed eyes and say, "No."
Oh,
All right.
Were you attempting to communicate in code when you did that?
Yes, very
Okay.
much so.
Give me what skill?
Del?
persuasion.
Let's say that would be. Let's just say that would be a wits roll. Just straight wits.
Straight wits.
Yeah. And I need Bunk to make an insight roll.
Okay.
Nice.
I have very little insight.
Ooh. Marcus succeeds. So you successfully convey this message. And Bunk has he just went right over his head. He doesn't get it.
The whiskey's getting to him. He just. All right.
So, whatever you were secretly trying to communicate or convey to Bunk, he's not picking up what you're putting down.
Also, funny story, Ryan. How you conveyed how after I hit that fucking wall when it exploded and got back out, I forgot my special power is second wind.
Yeah.
That 100% is exactly what he would have done. Just get out of here.
We'll remember
Not
next
like
time.
with it, but I'm like up and moving. Yeah, it's funny.
Can Dorian kind of like secretly try to piece together with his like mentalist skills?
Yeah,
See if-
let's say,
like see if he can understand what's trying to happen here.
mentally. I mean, admittedly, he's Are you? Describe to me narratively what how this would work.
Damn it, I was about to call you mind freak. Damn it.
Are you just saying that
so what?
you're gonna Adrian Monk this thing where you're just your power of perception it like picks up on
Yeah,
sort
he's
of
just trying to like see like because he's like a master of misdirection and like trying to like get people to do what he wants them to do. So he's trying to see, just trying to notice if he's trying to do something to influence this guy's reaction.
So give me either an observation or an insight roll, whichever is better for you. Wait, is there a talent that you're trying to
I don't think.
Yeah, so give me either an observation or an insight roll, whichever is better for you.
Do observation.
Oh yeah, you definitely pick up that when Marcus said no, he was nodding his head yes with great big eyes. So you, what Bunk missed, you completely picked up on.
I shuffle my cards a little bit. Okay.
So Peter just shrugs his shoulders and he says, the trip to the pickup point is about a day away. I'm not sure this is the greatest place to stay, considering the explosion and smoke and flames. Perhaps we want to get the fuck out of here before we draw some attention to ourselves. Maybe hike a ways out, find a secluded spot and make camp, try and rest up, and then we can perhaps make our way to this pickup point.
Preferably by running water.
We will find water.
I need to wash up. I'm covered in fucking blood. I'm
I
thirsty.
say, I knew a guy who used to cover himself in blood. Rotten fucker.
Isn't that how we went out too?
Bitch.
So, give me
You want some water? I got some water, old man.
Hey, new guy's got water.
You want a drink?
All right, give it over.
I roll a D10 to see if I keep it.
Nice. So Bunk gets some water for the day to stay hydrated. Peter kind of pulls out this map and he's like, the area that we're headed to is north of here and is largely controlled by the Sovereign Vanguard. There are two ways in.
Like, oh boy.
We can take the highway. Obviously, it will be much easier travel to go along a paved road. We'll be much more exposed. Or we can take this network of trails, bypass entry into the city by the way of main roads, and try to come in the backside.
I'd rather take the trails, I think. What do you guys
Yeah,
think?
whatever he says, I'm not paying attention. I'm kind of out of it right now. Lost a lot of blood, replaced it with whiskey. Yeah, whatever y'all think.
All right.
I agree. Let's stay off the main road.
So I put a copy of the map in the chat in case any of you guys wanted to take a look at it. And Peter has annotated a couple of spots. So he's suggesting taking the route through Elk Meadows Trail. So he's talking about like coming down kind of on the south and then taking a sort of a northeastern approach to avoid taking the highway straight in through Fraser.
Okay. Northeastern approach? Okay. So Oak Meadows Trail northeast and then cut back down southeast to Fraser.
Or we can avoid Fraser altogether. We are actually heading to the Tabernacle Rodeo.
Okay.
It's up to you. I can tell you that the area, regardless of route, is monitored by Vanguard patrols. We can either attempt to hide or we can confront them. I think that it would be in our interest to hide from them, if possible. But we can make those decisions as we come to them.
Sounds good.
For now, I think we need to find a place to make camp that is not here.
Running water.
Does anybody have
Keep
any?
going.
Is everybody up for Peter's plan, or does anybody have anything else that they want to suggest?
I would say if we do run into Vanguard, I use a trick. We ran into some Vanguard before. I know at least one of their call and response passphrases. So there's a chance that we could avoid immediate conflict. But last time it didn't go so well after that. But it turns out that they were shitholes anyway and cannibals, and so kind of glad I stabbed that guy in the neck. But just saying, if it comes up, and I would go ahead and tell them this passphrase in case they don't remember, say if someone from Sovereign Vanguard comes up to you and says swimming upstream as a question, you would answer if the current allows.
This is good to know.
So I think it's a way to avoid immediate conflict, but like I said last time, it went to shit anyway.
They are not known for their hospitality.
No, they're pieces of shit, a lot of them.
Let's get moving.
All right. So you guys are going to head out on this trail. You guys were effectively on this trail to begin with. There's a whole network of them in this region, filled with like hiking trails and mountain bike trails and that kind of thing.
As we're hiking,
Yeah.
Buck kind of like falls back a little bit up to Silas,
Mhm.
and just kind of, under his breath is like, I don't trust any of these motherfuckers anymore. And just kind of like, just keep your eyes peeled. I don't trust any of these fuckers anymore.
Yeah. The guy you've been traveling with pulling C4 out of his pocket and shooting it with a pistol will kind of do that to you.
Yeah. Did not see
I
that
don't
coming.
know what to do about this. But yes, eyes peeled.
Just as they finish that, Dorian pops in between them. He's like, "Hey guys, I don't know if you caught on, but that Marcus fellow definitely has gold bullions on him."
Do you say that to Peter, or just Bunk and Silas?
No, just Bunk and Silas. No.
Okay.
I know. I'm like, what? Why do you think that?
He was trying to message you. I'm kind of a master of body language too. I don't know if you know this about the magical arts, but
You're master of close talking. Get the fuck out of here, man.
What's with you, new guy?
hey, sorry, just trying to be friendly.
All right, so you think Marcus has gold bullion on him? And of course, I'm saying this all in hushed tones.
No, sir. I know he's got it on him. He told me. When he was trying to tell you, he told me. You didn't pick up on it. That's why I'm trying to communicate it to you.
I kind of look at Silas and just kind of share a quiet glance. And then
You
just
telepathically communicate this trust issue that you're having right now.
right, kind of reaffirming what the fuck I just told you.
Then I reach behind Bunk's ear and then pull out a thumbs up. And I'm like, "It's okay, buddy. You can trust me." And then I pop out a coin.
I smack the coin out of your hand. I was like, "Get that shit out of here! Get that coin out of my face!"
Excuse me.
I'm a very grumpy old man, just covered in blood.
So the whole
Fully
time you
whiskey.
guys are like having this conversation, Peter's like packing up his shit. He's readjusting his backpack. He throws it on his back. He's like, "Are we ready?"
Yeah, let's get going.
Okay.
Yeah, and Marcus wants to suggest that we don't like travel like in a pack, like walking in a straight line. I think Marcus in character is saying I think we should have one or two up front, a flank on each side, kind of spread out where we can still see each other, but not all grouped together. And then since there's 5 of us, like maybe Bunk in the pulling up the rear, but that's what I would suggest. So we're not just stacked on each other. I would suggest.
Say, Marcus, why don't you take the rear with me? You and I'll hit up the rear.
Exactly
Peter
what I was
says,
about to say.
I will head the front.
Guess I'm on a flank.
But I guess that makes me the other flank.
All right. So I need somebody to
Catch on quick, new guy.
I need somebody
Old school.
to keep watch.
I will.
I've got the binoculars, so I've got a bonus on observation, and then I've also got the map and compass. So if I'm navigating, I can get a bonus on survival.
Think it's an observation roll for keeping watch as opposed to survival.
Yeah, it's observation for the binoculars.
Oh,
for watch.
gotcha. Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay. Yep. All right. Great. So whoever's keeping watch, whether it's Bunk or Marcus, just give me whatever that roll is, that observation roll.
I would have had 6. I don't know what you'd have, but you can.
I'll have 6 too with the bonus. So I guess if we need someone to navigate, I can take that roll.
You also have those 3 stress die. Don't forget.
Oh, I'll go
I've also
ahead.
got that.
Actually, this would not be you would not include your stress in this roll because this is more of a passive roll as opposed to an active roll.
Whatever. I rolled.
Is it 6?
Okay, 6. Great. And then I'm gonna. Does somebody want to actually? Peter has the map, so he's gonna roll a navigation roll. Okay.
Can't see those.
Yeah.
So,
I hid those.
are we walking yet?
Yeah. So you guys start hiking.
In formation. Okay.
In formation.
Hang on.
Yeah.
We're in formation.
Correct.
I'm in the back with Marcus. And about no sooner than I think Peter gets out of fucking hearing range, and also Dorian gets out of fucking hearing range because I don't trust that son of a bitch.
Mhm.
I'm like, Marcus, do you have that fucking gold bullion?
So here's the thing, Bunk. First conversation we've ever had, I think. I was trying to tell you, yes, when I found this letter that Peter now has that we couldn't read, I did find the bullion. I didn't know you guys that well at the time.
Excuse me.
I stashed it. I was trying to let you know when he was asking me or asking everybody else, like trying to let you know, hey, I've got this, but this motherfucker's crazy. He shot the one-armed healer. He's out of control, but he kind of let us in on what his plan is. We've got the bullion. He doesn't know that we do. And I'm saying we kind of got an idea. He needs the bullion and the letter. If we can keep this between us until we get to kind of the idea of his plan, we can get rid of this crazy motherfucker and just, take the Russian letter and the bullion and use his plan.
I'm thinking the same thing. We got to figure out what this dude's plan is and how the bullion works and how the letter works and exactly what's supposed to happen. But until then, I think you just keep that bullion. You keep that bullion quiet, and we help him figure out a workaround.
Well, he's kind of on to me, so I was going to suggest, if you're up for it, if you want to take this bullion from me, because I have a feeling first time we go to sleep, this motherfucker is going to come rifling through my shit. And he's got his, sights locked on me, and I don't think he's going to think you've got it. But I'll keep it if you're not comfortable, but he's got his sights on me.
What, in the prison wallet? Is that what you're saying?
If you want to put it in your hairy checkbook, that's up to you, but
I'll do it. I mean, is that what you want me to do? Because I'll do it.
I think it'd be better for this plan that we're discussing, because I think I'm, top target for him. So if I don't have it when he goes searching, if he does, after he clears me, I'll take it right back from you until we can, off comrade killer.
Gotcha. So we're far enough back and to where Peter's kind of far enough up there that I don't think he can see real quick. I say, is when we come to a curve in the road or a hill where he's just crested the hill and is no longer in eyesight, I immediately pull my fucking pants down to about my thigh. It's not what you think.
Okay.
I get my fucking electrical tape out and I tape that shit to my upper thigh. I put electrical tape around that gold bullion. I'm imagining it's in a roll, like a penny roll type shit.
Yeah.
It's kind
Two rolls.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Two
two of
rolls,
them.
yeah.
Two rolls.
And I was gonna say,
roll that shit. Yeah.
I was just gonna pass it to you very sneakily because my stealth is off the charts. But go ahead and
You're
pull
holding.
your pecker
You're
up.
holding it there for him. You're like,
Yeah,
Right.
hey, you
I'm
gotta.
pushing it up in there.
So
we're trying. I'm trying to get it real quick before anybody can fucking see. And I'm just like electrical taping around my fucking thigh, not so tight to where it cuts off the circulation, but tight to where it's there, and it could be mistaken for my cock. And then I get it up, pull my fucking pants up, and then we keep walking.
okay. So here's what I want to do. Considering how many times we've mentioned using this duct tape, I want you to put it into your inventory with, at this point, a roll 3d6. It doesn't matter which one, just roll 3d6. I don't care.
Is this for his
On
electrical tape
resources
and
or
my
whatever?
duct tape?
What's that?
So he has duct tape. I have electrical tape.
Okay. At this point, both of you. So Matt, Corrado, your what did you roll altogether?
A 3 of I can't tell. I think there's a 3, a 4, and a skull.
3, 4. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So yeah, roll. Set your electrical tape at D8 resource, and we'll just do a D8 for both of them. So the duct tape has got D8. So every time you guys want to use your duct tape or your electrical tape, just roll that that resource dice for me, and that'll determine how much you got left.
And Matt, I took the 2 gold bullion rolls out of my inventory. So if you want to add them to yours.
Okay.
Perfect. So this happens. Like, you watch, like, Peter's up front. He's muttering something to himself in Russian. But you watch him go over the top of a hill. Because this, you guys are still in the mountains, so there's plenty of hills in this trail. And lots of trees where the trail curves behind trees and such. So you find a pretty comfortable spot where he's out of sight of you being able to do this. But as you come around the corner, let's say it's a bend in the trail where there's like trees obscuring the inside corner and you're coming around it. You're expecting to see Peter, 10 to 15 yards in front of you, and instead he's down on one knee. He's stopped and he's down on one knee and he's holding a hand like this. Like he's looking forward, but he's got a hand like this.
I immediately freeze and take a knee myself.
And as the rest of you come around, what is everybody else going to decide to do?
Yeah, if Marcus is there any trees or anything that you can just back up to?
Sure. I mean, you guys are in the woods.
Okay.
Are we on a
Yeah.
trail? Are we like in the middle of a trail?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay.
You guys are, and it's not a huge way. Like this is a very small, like, foot trail. It's a hiking trail, so
Okay.
it's
Okay.
not even wide enough for like 2 people to walk side by side. So it's
I drop down. Are we at kind of the crest of the hill?
yeah. I would say that whatever elevation advantage you have is pretty minimal. I wouldn't even factor it into like a tactical aspect of it.
I'm just saying. But can I just see him at the top of the hill doing this?
It's
Or
not really
have
a
I made it
hill.
to the top of the hill and can
You
see over there?
came around a curve. You came around a bend
Oh,
in the
okay.
trail, and that's where you saw him.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I don't just take a knee. I unsling my sniper rifle and I kind of bring it up and I just kind of look in the direction that I see him looking through the scope
So-
just to see what I see.
Peter gives you one of these. He's like this, and he points in a direction. Give me an observation roll. And we'll say
Yeah,
that
Marcus is going to do the same thing on the other side with his hunting rifle.
I would say that your scope on your sniper rifle gives you a +2 to observation, and your scope on your hunting rifle gives you a +1 to your observation.
Dorian
I would-
flips up his collar and then like spins his like trench coat around and does a 360 and then hides behind a tree and then gets his knives out.
Okay. Okay, cool. Jesus Christ. Lots of
I would also-
success.
I would also be looking through a sniper rifle scope, but off to the side.
Okay, same deal. Give me an observation roll. One success, two success. Silas.
I feel like he's-
Yeah,
I feel like
I'm
he's
working on
stressed
it.
out
Oh,
here
gotcha.
helping. I feel like I'm getting more successes from my stress die than anything else.
Work well under pressure.
All right, so
I got 0 successes.
okay, so Silas initially doesn't see what Peter's pointing at. I'm going to describe for Bunk what Bunk sees first because Marcus had the most successes. So I'm just going to escalate what is to be seen. So Bunk looks through the scope and he sees a person sitting down on the ground, leaned up against a tree, and another person hunched over that person. What Marcus sees, because for whatever reason, you have a clearer line of sight, or perhaps there was some smudging on the lens of Bunk's sniper rifle before he looked through it.
Makes sense.
But Marcus, what you're able to make out is that the person that's sitting on the ground is bleeding. And the person hunched over this other person is trying to help them. And Peter just turns to you and he's like, we could take care of this right now.
I'm going to say, Peter, it looks like these people are not a threat. So let's talk before shoot and just see what's happening. If you want to be on the ready, that's fine. But let's not, kill first, ask questions later. Let's see what's going on here.
He looks at you and he's like, after you.
All right.
He kind of like
So,
holds
Marcus-
his hand out. He's like, after you.
So how far away are the people that are hunched up against the tree?
We'll say they're like 30 yards. So like 90 feet.
Okay. Before I start walking towards them, I'm going to announce at least my presence and say, stranger.
And the person that's hunched over, as soon as you yell out stranger, the person that's hunched over whips around, points a gun right at you.
And I'm going to put my hands up and I'm going to say, easy, friend. You've got a gun pointed at me. I've got 4 more pointed at you. I just want to talk.
Roll persuasion.
Plus my 3. Come on, stay hot.
Nice.
God damn. Okay. Oh, and let's not forget, we got two successes that we can pass on. Yeah, so you make your point, and it's a woman, and she's just like, okay. She lowers the gun. She doesn't put it away, but she does lower it, and she's like, I don't even know what to do, but he's injured badly. Are any of you doctors by any chance?
And I'm going to say to everybody, let's calm it a little bit as we're approaching, like, what happened.
I'm very making a show of it, sling my sniper rifle back over my shoulder, and kind of raise my hands and like start walking up to, making myself well known.
Okay. Are you all moving in?
Yeah, after I notice that it's a lady, I spin out from my hiding spot and then like fling open my my trench coat to show my abs. I'm like, it's okay, princess. We're only here to help. My friend Bunk is an old healer who knows a lot about the ways of the woods, who can assist you.
Can you start speaking in a Channing Tatum Gambit voice just for me?
I wish that accent was too thick.
I don't want to put a data bot on that.
Okay, so let's see. Who has the highest observation score?
I got a 6.
6 for
Also a
observation.
6.
So Silas, you haven't really mentioned if you're how are you engaging this situation?
I'm still kind of hanging back. I still have my sniper rifle out. I don't necessarily trust this situation just yet.
Okay.
So I'm probably behind, or I probably haven't even given my location away yet as of this point. So
Okay.
everybody else is moving forward. I would kind of be on the side, like keeping Overwatch sort of situation.
Okay, perfect. So Marcus, as you know, she seems to invite you to kind of to sort of assess the situation and offer whatever help you're going to help. As you get closer, you don't even need to get up on and do any inspection. As you get closer, you can tell that this guy is bleeding from the stomach, and he appears to be holding his intestines in his hands. I need you to give me an observation roll.
Yeah, I observed that Peter's about to shoot this guy.
Yeah.
It's 4 plus my 3 stress die.
So you see
fuck.
this. I'm going to need you to roll.
See if you throw up or not.
Yeah. Give me a D6. Roll a D6, first of all.
Okay.
3. Add 3 to it is 6. So you see this person bleeding and holding literally their intestines in their hands. And despite the fact that it is incredibly unsettling, you do manage to keep your composure. How do you want to proceed?
I want to say, oh, that's about as bad as I've seen. Bunk, is there anything you think you can do? Because I don't think electrical tape's going to do.
Pull out the
So
bottle of whiskey.
at this point, has Bunk come up closer as well?
Oh, I thought he was with me. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm up there.
Bunk, I need
Pull out the
you to
bottle of
give me
whiskey.
I need you to give me an observation roll as well.
Okay.
Do better than mine. That's a lot of death.
Okay.
Nah.
So, is anybody else moving in to assist or assess?
I was just trying to pull the girl away.
You're going to try and pull the girl away.
Yeah,
With his magical abs.
yeah.
Are you doing this persuasively or by are you like dragging her away?
No,
Are you trying to convince her to move away?
Yeah.
Give me a
Let the guys do their job. I'm here to console you.
give me a persuasion roll. She's so you get the one.
You got 2 extra if you want to use them, right?
I mean,
we
yeah,
passed two.
yeah. Go ahead and roll the other 2 because this might actually affect if you've got like 3 successes. 2, okay.
Okay.
So for 2 successes, she turns to you and just sort of like puts, you mention like, oh, come with me. She turns to you and just kind of like falls into you and wraps her arms around you and starts sobbing. Oh my God, it's so terrible. Oh, it's so terrible.
I'm now trained on the wounded person because she's out of the picture.
Mhm.
I'm looking through the scope at the wounded person.
I need Macaulay, or not Macaulay. I need Dorian to give me an observation roll.
Yeah. Okay.
Brain danger.
Damn.
Okay.
It's a lot of dip.
So yeah, this woman has fallen into your arms and is just sobbing.
I kind of
Oh.
back up a little bit, give everybody space.
Okay. Let's see.
I whip out a magic flower and I give it to her.
So she is very she's impressed with this. Oh my God, you do magic! I had no idea.
Well, just for special little ladies like you.
First chick ever that likes close-up magic.
I was gonna say, it didn't work. He's trying to keep us cool though.
So, is anybody going to tend to the injured guy?
Me and Bunker there, like, I want to try to, like, I know he's awake. Like, just ask him, like, what happened? Or, you know, do you have any backpack that you may have dropped along the trail? Is there anything that you had with you that we might be able to help
Give me
get your insides back in?
give me a survival roll.
Thank good.
Yeah, success too.
But he panicked. So I'm going to need you to roll a d6 for me.
3.
3 plus 3 is 6. So you're still really, but you did get one success, yeah? So you panicked,
Yeah,
but you got 2 successes actually. Okay. So you get close enough where you're like, you could reach out and you could just reach into this guy's stomach and hold his intestines. Like you're right next to him. But you managed to keep your composure. I need Silas to give me an observation roll. One.
1-6.
Okay. Okay. So these two things happen at the same time. Silas. Well, I'm going to tell Marcus what you see first. So you kind of hold your composure as you're talking to this guy, but your survival roll tells you that as you kind of get close enough to this guy to inspect him, you realize that he's not actually wounded, and the intestines that he's holding are actually pig's intestines. And he looks you straight in the eyes like, didn't your mother teach you not to trust strangers? And he is going to make an attack roll.
I fucking knew it. I backed up. Han
Shoot
Solo, I smell that shit.
Now you can
Marcus
attempt to
is
block.
denouncing the Trail Angels.
You can now
Sorry.
attempt to block this if you'd like.
Yeah, so my flyweight talent says I can block incoming melee attacks using my agility score rather than strength.
Perfect. So I would say use your agility attribute score and your melee skill score.
So that's a 0. 0
I would
on the
like-
melee, so just 5. Is that with stress?
Yeah, your stress dice are still in play. Because he is actively trying to stab you.
Okay, so 5 base and 3 stress.
Cool. So,
That's a lot of dip.
so you, I'm going to ignore the panic for right now, but he does hit you, and you are going to take. You're going to take 5 damage when he stabs you.
Oh my god.
That's going to knock me down to 0.
Okay. What Silas sees coming from the hill above him are 2 more people. They've got, one of them's got a bat and the other one's got a knife, and they are charging in. I need everybody to roll initiative.
Even me, because now I'm at 0 health.
Oh, you know what I need you to do? I need you to roll a D66 for me. So roll a red dice and a white dice.
What is initiative dice? I don't even know.
D10 plus your agility. Or I'm sorry,
You said
hold on. So yeah, we'll do Gregory's roll first. So roll a red dice and a white dice for me. 25. So, when he stabs you, you attempt to block it. You don't completely block it, but you do deflect it, and instead of it going into your stomach or in your chest, it goes straight into your thigh. So you're going to have a... so in your critical injuries section on your character sheet, I need you to write impaled thigh, and your movement is reduced by 1 range. And then the healing time on that is 2d6. So roll 2d6 for me.
okay, so impaled thigh. You said where is my movement?
Movement's not on your thing, but like in combat, what that would basically mean is that you would be reduced by 1 range in terms of how much distance you could close in combat.
Got it. Okay, and then what was the roll?
2d6.
2d6. A 4 and a 2.
So this is going to affect you for 4 days. That being said, I need everybody to roll initiative, so it's going to be D10 plus your mobility score.
Roll a fucking 1.
4.
I would like to request a break. I'm about to have an accident.
Perfect. We can do that. We'll come back, and we'll pick up with initiative as soon as we get back. Right. We'll do like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
All right. So everybody got a chance to pee and get refreshed beverages. To that extent, we picked up. Let's roll some initiatives. Did somebody already roll initiative? Bunk, you said Bunk rolled an
I
initiative.
got a 4.
4. Okay.
I rolled an 8.
An 8 for Dorian.
Danger.
Ryan, you said to roll a D10 plus your
Mobility score.
so that's just a D6 if it's a 1, or
I
just
thought it was
plus
agility.
Or agility. My problem.
Oh,
So that if my agility 5, I'm just adding 5 to the D10 roll. Or am I
Correct.
doing
Correct.
Okay.
mine would have been 10 then.
10. Okay.
I kind of sensed some shit was wrong, and I had backed up prior to that.
6.
If you
Yeah,
remember.
that's an 11 for
11
Marcus.
for Marcus. Okay.
Plus 5 on the 6.
Peter is
Silas
going
is
to
at 13.
So I'm at least 10
6.
feet away from stabby McPig intestines.
roll 4. So that is going to be
So he did stab Marcus.
2. Yes, he did stab Marcus. 9 and 11. So we get these in order real quick. So Silas is at the top. Bunk, you're not quite last. Dorian's here.
$23.
Okay, so Silas, you're up first. You have your you've been looking through your sniper rifle the whole time, and you're the one that sees these two other bandits come up, kind of pop up out of the bush as soon as this guy goes to stab Marcus. There are two of them. One of them is closer to you, so they're kind of in line. One of them's closer to you, one of them's farther away. You've got the woman that's there hugging Dorian, and then you've got the guy that's sitting on the ground that kind of has Marcus like in front of him, kind of like almost fallen into him. What would you like to do?
I guess. Well, I said right before that I had my sniper rifle trained on the wounded guy.
Yeah.
So, do I have a clear line of shot?
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah. Like you could. I mean, you've got your sniper rifle, so you could easily thread. You know, unless you roll a shitload of bad rolls, but like yes, with a success, you could properly take this guy out.
I'm gonna shoot him dead. I hope.
Okay.
So let's see. Shit, I did a hidden roll. I'm sorry.
That's all right. How many successes?
I tried it. Holy fuck.
Just roll it again. Since you accidentally did it hidden, roll it again. You can also push it if you want to. You did roll several ones though. Perfect. 2 6s. Yeah, you get a clean shot at this guy. It hits him. Do you want to apply the extra damage?
Fuck yeah, dude.
Okay, so roll your d6 plus whatever your bonus is, plus the extra damage.
Is extra damage just one extra?
1 extra point, yeah.
Okay. So, d6 plus... Okay.
Oh, that's a 4. Or no, that's a 6.
A 6 plus 3, so that's 9.
Oh yeah, this guy's head explodes. Like you put one
Nice.
right in his ear, and his comes out the backside of his head, just brains. Marcus is actually sort of sprayed with red mist. To that end, Marcus, I need you, since you are critically injured, I need you to give me a stamina roll.
That's not good. Still with the stress?
Oh yes, still with the stress.
I didn't know if me.
Actually, no, because you're critically injured. There's no stress. You just roll a flat.
Okay,
Yeah,
makes sense. I'm dying. So.
yeah.
Okay.
It's since
Oh
the
fuck yeah,
before,
though you get the 6. So you're at this point. You are, yeah. You don't. Your condition doesn't deteriorate. But that is going to bring us to one of the guys charging downhill. It's going to be the guy that's farthest away. He's going to be running at Dorian. And he is going to
Throw a card at him.
He is going to take a swing at you with his bat, and he's going to miss. That is going to take us to Dorian.
Okay, so he's like running at me and then like swings and misses.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm thinking like he like overshoots and then I see his back, so I'm gonna like reach into my coat, pull out my throwing knife.
So
and just,
as
like,
you
launch it.
reach into your coat to find your throwing knives,
Oh, of course.
what you didn't notice is that this woman, when she fell into your arms, she must have taken them because your throwing knives are no longer in your coat.
Fucking bitch. Okay, so now I'm just reaching.
Uh-huh.
Give him a
And
grab.
and I just grab her on the throat and just try and choke her out.
Okay, give me a force roll. Actually, would this be? Yeah, this would be a melee roll. No, give me a. It doesn't matter. Give me any strength skill that you want to roll.
I mean, it doesn't make sense for it to be stamina, right? It's
Yeah.
just
So give me either a
throw it.
force or a melee.
Okay.
Either one of them. Whatever's better for you.
Is there any extra 6s on the table or anything?
I don't think so. No.
He used those for damage.
So she manages to fight you off. So that's going to take us to the other guy that's coming down the hill. He's going to run right past Dorian and go straight to Bunk. He is going to take a swing at you with his bat. Ooh, and he is also going to miss.
Yeah, stuck.
That is going to take us to Peter, who is going to...
Peter's gonna kill some motherfucker.
Peter is going to walk right up to this lady that... 2, 3, 4, 6. Wait, nope. Oh, Jesus Christ. He is going to push this, though, because he's going to stab her right in the kidneys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
There it is.
So he does get the one success, so he's going to stab her right in the kidney. 4, 6 plus 1. For 3. Okay. And that is going to take us to her. And after getting stabbed in the kidneys, she's going to turn around and just chuck one of these throwing knives at one of Dorian's. You see her like whip this out and chuck it over at Peter, and you're like, "Hey, that's one of mine."
Hey, that's mine.
3, 4. And she's gonna hit Peter. Fuck, for 6. Peter is hurt. That is gonna take us to Bunk.
Bunk, so there's a dude right in front of him that swung on me with a fucking baseball bat, yeah?
Yeah.
All right. I'm right there. I don't really have I also have a baseball bat, and so I kind of fucking step back,
Uh huh.
and I'm guessing I have it kind of sword-like across my back.
Mm-hmm.
So I just kind of take it in one fucking swing after I dodged that guy's swing and just kind of like try to whack that fucker with the bat.
Okay.
So is that strength plus
Melee.
just strength? I have
No,
0
are
melee,
you?
but-
Oh yeah, strength plus melee plus whatever your gear bonus for the bat, which I think is
Right.
2 or 3.
So 3. So 7. And I'm fucking missed, but I'm gonna push that shit.
Yeah, do it. And you can roll the whole
So-
pool. But you've got 2 for the bat. 2 gear dice for the bat, the black dice. Whatever.
2 extra dice.
I was just doing them all white. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh.
So make sure you just like the white ones are just for your skills and attributes. It's so that
Okay,
we can
cool.
keep track of gear damage.
Okay. So I had. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then my. I have 3 for bat.
Okay,
It's
perfect.
only 2.
I mean, I think we're running with 2 different versions of the rules. I think I've updated some stuff, but roll whatever you've got listed on your character sheet. Oh fuck yeah. Okay,
Alright,
so
I got 2.
yeah, you got extra damage if you want to apply it. So roll a d6 for damage. 1. Okay, so how much damage does the bat do? additional damage does the bat do?
3.
3, so 4 plus the additional one? Because you had the multiple successes? Yeah, this guy goes down.
1, 2, 3. Oh, so I roll one more damage die.
No, so you rolled
it's
1
plus
for the base. Yeah, it's not additional dice, it's just additional points.
Okay.
So you rolled a
Okay.
1 on the actual damage die, but you got extra success from extra damage from when you did the critical success, and then the bat does like absurd amount of damage. Anyway.
Do I also roll a stress die because I pushed it?
Oh yeah, if you get another 6, it'll do more damage. Doesn't. But you still, do you want to describe how this guy dies when you club him with the bat?
Yeah, so this was a total, this was as he came at me and swung, like I'm already reaching for my bat when he swung for me, and it was just happened to be like I fucking moved this way as it was coming this way, and at the same time I'm taking out my bat and I hit him right in the fucking temple over here as I crack him down. And I'm just as surprised as he is when I fucking crack this dude. And he just, he goes over like just right overhead on the ground. So his ass is still sticking up in the air. And he's just, his knees are on the ground, his ass is in the air, and his head is just caved the fuck in.
Perfect.
Just face down. He's done.
So that's going to take us back to Silas, but what I'm going to do is make a couple of rolls here real quick.
Oh, before we go further, you guys reminded me that I had, let me go back to the roll. I had damage, I think, on my gear.
Did you push it?
No.
Okay, it only matters if you push it.
Okay.
Yep. So this guy. Okay. And then her.
I only take a point of stress if I would have rolled a 1 on my stress die, right?
No, you only take stress if you push your roll.
I
You would have
pushed it. I rolled a stress die and I rolled a 3.
Correct.
So I took a point of stress, or I don't take a point.
You take a point of stress when you push your roll.
Okay.
So when you push your roll, you take that point of stress and you roll that stress die. If you roll a 1, then you roll for panicking, which is what Gregory has been doing all night. To that end, we're back at the top of the lineup. Silas, you put the guy down that stabbed Marcus. Bunk put one guy down with a shot to the head. You've still got the woman that was with the guy initially, and then you've got one more bandit that came down the hill, the one that took a swing at Dorian. Who do you want to? What do you want to do?
I am shooting the other bandit.
Okay.
So the one that took a swing and missed. Is he far enough away that I would be using a sniper rifle here?
Yeah, you could still do that. I would
Based
say.
on. Okay.
I mean, you haven't closed the distance at all yet, have you? You've just been taking shots so far.
I was still in that Overwatch sort of position.
Perfect.
So.
Yeah, then you're still good. Oh, Jesus.
Yes.
Jesus.
Yeah. So, roll damage, first of all. So just roll a d6.
Stone cold killer.
4 plus 2 for the sniper rifle. That's 6.
6 plus the 2 additional successes that you rolled on. So you're at 8 total damage. Are you putting that all on this bandit?
I'll put one of them on there, so I'll save one success to pass along to somebody else on the next roll. So
you're
that
applying.
would,
Go ahead.
yeah.
Total of 8 then?
If that saves one success for somebody else.
Okay.
Yes.
So you had 4, 5,
So
6,
7.
Yeah. Would you want to describe how this guy dies?
Yeah.
So he takes a
Easy.
swing and misses, and he has this stupid fucking look on his face, like how could he miss this guy that was right there? And clearly he doesn't know that he swung at a magician. So I just put one straight in the center of his chest, just like, leaving a hole,
Perfect.
and he just falls.
Yeah. I am going to make one more roll. 1, 2.
Don't do that.
Okay. Marcus, I need you to make another stamina roll.
So that's strength plus stamina. That's a 3.
Yep.
But I don't have to do the stress because
No
I'm
stress.
slowly dying.
Okay.
That's a lot of death.
I'm gonna need Dorian. He's up.
All right. And so it's just that girl that stole my knives.
Yeah, she's the only one left. And she looks shockingly committed to this. For whatever reason, despite the fact that she has just watched you put down 3 of her friends, she, for whatever reason, is awkwardly confident. And maybe it's because she stole your knives, but she is she's not backing down.
They're
Doesn't
pretty
she have a
special
knife in her
knives.
kidney from Peter?
What's that?
I thought
Oh, yeah.
Peter put a
Peter
knife in her
stabbed her.
kidney.
Peter stabbed you?
No,
Peter
the
stabbed
her.
her.
Yeah, he stabbed her. Yeah.
So she's got a knife in her fucking kidney.
Well,
Or
she's
at least
got
a gaping
she's
hole.
yeah, she's taken a stab wound. But she's for whatever reason she's
I
not
took that shit.
How far away is she from? Is she still like pretty close?
Oh,
to me?
she's like, I would say she's within arm's reach.
Okay.
Finger her. Kidney.
So let's see. I don't really have anything. So Dorian's gonna flip his coat off
Mhm.
and try and throw it over her head,
Okay. I fucking love this.
like blind her,
All right.
and then
Super sweet move.
and then try not to like do too much. So then he's just gonna like roll, like try and roll and hide into the shadows.
Okay, so give me an agility roll for the cape throwing.
Okay.
Or no, I'm sorry. Give me a mobility roll. Mobility, not agility. Give me a mobility roll for the for like tossing your cape on her to try and cover her face. I fucking love this. Jesus Christ. Okay, yeah. So not only
there's one success that I passed earlier. If you would,
yeah, you want to roll another dice? I mean, I don't see why not.
I don't think he needs it, but okay.
I will also give you a +2 gear bonus to this for the cape itself.
Roll 2 black ones.
So roll 2 black ones. And you've already got okay, so you already got 2 successes. So you throw the cape over her face, and not only does it like go over her face, but it kind of like, because she hears it and she whips around, and as she whips around, the centrifugal force of her turning around like wraps the cape around her neck. So not only is it on her face, but it's kind of like tangled up on her. So I'm going to put her at a disadvantage for everything that would require sight. And that's also going to give Peter an advantage on stabbing her in the kidney again, which he is going to do now. 8. You've got to be fucking kidding me.
Holy fuck.
Peter.
Peter, you suck. Don't stab my coat.
That's 2.
There we go.
So Peter takes out his knife, and he's going to stab her in the other kidney. Oh, yeah. And she... so Peter stabs her in the other kidney, and this time he gets a nice good... Like it goes into the hilt, And instead of him just stabbing and pulling out, he stabs her in the kidney, and then he does one of these where it's like yanks down on it, just basically severs her kidney in half. She screams. She's still got the hood on her head. She falls to the ground, and she just is in excruciating pain. But due to the she's already got one stab wound and one kidney, and Peter has just ruined the other kidney for her, and she just bleeds out almost immediately. So that is all of the enemies that you had encountered. Peter, who seems very pleased with himself, despite the fact that he has taken he's hurting a little bit. He walks up to you, pulls the throwing knife out of his side, hands it to Dorian. He's like, I believe this is yours.
I spin it around and lock it. Well, I don't have anywhere to put it because it's in my coat. So I grab my coat off of her and like flip it on like Doctor Strange and put it over my shoulder and then slide it into the pockets.
He's like,
imagine if she wasn't distracted by me the entire time we were fighting.
He's like, try not to lose your knives next time.
Anyway, so you've got 4 dead bodies. One of your team members is critically injured. And the rest of you, I think, are still kind of beat up from the explosion. What do you guys want to do in the immediate sense?
I'd like to ask Peter how much further we need to go before we can chill out.
He's like,
It's not much further.
Okay.
I know a good spot.
While they're talking,
yeah.
While they're talking, they're having this whatever conversation about knives and coats, and Peter's trying to be tough and Dorian's trying to be smooth. I get the gold bullion off my thigh,
Yes.
and I plant it on the dead guy next to me that swung.
Okay.
I put it in his fucking pockets, and I say, let's search these bodies, see if they have anything good, and keep fucking moving. And I don't search this body. I go to the one over by, I don't know, the one to my right or something.
Yeah, so what I'm going to need you to do, Bunk, let's see. I'm going to need you to give me a stealth roll to kind of
Does
like...
my camo jacket help?
Yes.
I would say in this instance, it does not help.
Yeah.
Can't see me.
Specifically says bonus on stealth rolls.
When I would say that this is more a sleight of hand than like trying to hide from other like camouflaging yourself from other enemies.
Maybe when you level up, I'll teach you some magic tricks and you can add that.
I don't need fucking magic.
Fuck yes.
Perfect.
Nice.
I love
I'm a
this.
swarthy old man.
Yeah, you successfully slip the gold bullion into this dead guy's pockets. That being said, do you guys want to loot these bodies?
Yes. But I specifically don't loot the body that I just planted the bullion on.
Okay.
I go to one over there.
Okay.
Yep.
I would
Marcus
like
can't
a
move,
bat.
but he'll
I would
reach into the
also-
pockets of the guy that stabbed him, like right in front of him, since he can't really move anywhere.
Okay. So obviously you guys find 2 bats and you find 2 bats and 2 knives in terms of weaponry. You find a half-used book of matches, just like sort of like the paper matches. And on the body that was pretending to be injured, you've got like a little hand reel fishing kit. In other words, it's just sort of like some fishy line that's it's not a fishing pole per se, but it's like a length of fishing line that's on like a stick that's like a makeshift take-up reel.
Bunk wants that.
I would like to plead my case for both the matches and the fishing line. There's a lot of tricks I could do with that for my craft if you guys don't have any use for that stuff.
Yeah, we have use for a fucking fishing line. We're in the middle of the wilderness. I'd say absolutely not. I said go search that dead body, and I shove him towards the one that I planted the gold bullion on. I specifically shove Dorian towards that specific body while I go get the fishing line off the other one. Because I want Dorian to fucking find this.
Does that guy have like a bat?
Yes, the guy that's that he is sort of like ushering you to inspect.
I grab the bat and then I'm like, oh hey, this guy's got gold too.
Peter's like,
What? Bullion? Let me see.
And then I show it to him, and then I hide it from him.
As soon as you do that, he looks at you as he's like,
I am not impressed. Now is not the time.
I pull it behind his ears, and I give it to him.
So he looks at it, and he's like,
How do I know that you didn't have this the whole time, fancy fingers?
You were looking for gold? I don't know if I was here for that part. I just showed up. If you were looking for it, I didn't have it.
Dorian was here for that.
So,
That's why I shoved him towards it.
So, give me a persuasion roll.
Because he genuinely has no idea what the fuck you're talking about. So his lie, it's very genuine. It's his surprise. He's like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Since I've also got. I've got the bullshit artist. But I'm technically not bullshitting, so I wouldn't need a bonus on that one, I guess.
Yeah, you're not lying. You're not attempting to deceive him. You're literally saying to you, I just like, here's your gold. I didn't have it. Okay.
And I push.
So Peter sort of puts his like, as he's insinuating that he thinks you might have it, he starts putting his hand around your neck, almost like he's going to choke you out. But what he's actually doing is he's checking your pulse. And what he realizes is that, this little shit is actually telling me the truth. And he sort of lets go of your neck, and then he's like, I don't know, it's fortuitous or bullshit or some sort of strange combination of the two, but I figure at this point, what's done is done. We have the bullion. These fuckers are dead. Is everybody ready to move on?
I'm not, but if someone will drag me, I'm willing to come along.
Yeah. I would say you're basically unconscious. You're not dying. The wound that impaled you, as much as it was painful, didn't really rupture any arteries or so it sort of hurt in the moment and caused you to you know, you definitely took some damage, but you are not you're not in imminent danger of dying, but you are unconscious. You're a little bit worse for the wear. But I would say that between Peter and somebody else, they could very easily carry you.
I'll help.
Okay. Perfect. So this area of Colorado is kind of, it's not a terribly, you've come away from the pass and all of like the backcountry area. You've been walking for a while, and you're actually kind of coming up on, two, they're not cities by any means. They are rinky-dink little mountain towns, but they're common enough. I mean, they're on their way to Granby Lake. So Bunk, you would know this area, just due to your time spent in the state and your survivalist nature, et cetera, et cetera. You have no idea what Peter is talking about in terms of the area being controlled by Vanguard, but you do know that, like, oh yeah, I used to come here and go camping when we were kids. And so you know where there's a pretty good spot to go camping. So to that end, you guys hike for about another hour, and you come to a clearing. I need somebody to give me a making camp roll. So somebody give me Bunk, go ahead and give me a survival roll for making camp.
This is my shit. All right. 5 plus 3 plus 2. And the gear is. There we go.
I think you got it. All right, cool. You got 2 survival or 2 success. So yeah, you find a very almost an ideal camp spot.
A little too perfect.
It's out of the way. Like nobody's, you're pretty sure that nobody's gonna stumble upon you. You're still off the beaten path, so to speak. But it is, it's nice and level, so that when you sleep, you're not sleeping in some sort of weird elevated position. There's plenty of tree cover to keep any precipitation off of you in the event that it comes. You get a nice roaring fire going, so everybody's gonna stay nice and warm. And you are approximately 300 feet away from water. You can hear it. There's a stream. There's something going on that you can hear that there is water nearby.
After Bunk gets all the camp set up, he very I don't give a fuck about anyone. He just goes towards it, just gets naked as fuck, and just wades into that water and just starts wiping all the blood off of him and just kind of resetting this and that, drinking. But he's yeah, I was on borrowed water and all that. I need to fucking refill my water, kind of just soak for a minute. I got blown up, man.
Okay.
I would like to
yeah, go ahead.
Stealthily sneak into the water and then pop up behind him while he's trying to relax. So I could have
Bunk?
a conversation with him. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, sure. I don't see any reason to have you roll for this. Just role play it out.
I don't miss Macaulay at all.
We're like, hey, did you see that guy had an extra gold bullion? Now we get to keep that one that you got.
What are you talking about, boy? Jesus
The
Christ.
gold. We got the gold now, so we can keep the one that we got, and now we can get rid of Peter and use his plan to get us to where we need to go without him.
Fuck up.
Oh my
Shut the fuck up. I'm covering his mouth at this and just kind of looking around God damn it, you were born stupid. And I'm just keep it under your fucking hat. It's all good. We're good. Things are going. You know nothing. You saw nothing. Don't worry about it.
But I'm saying we can ditch him now. We don't need this creepy asshole.
We do need this creepy asshole. We don't know what the fucking plan is. God damn it, you're thick.
Okay. Then he goes back underwater.
I'm kind of thrashed around in the water where it was. I'm just
And I'm already at
I
the
hate
shore.
that boy, but damn it, is he good? Yeah.
So
I hate him, but I respect him.
I would say that there is enough water for everyone to and it's nearby. It's not a far hike. It's not but you guys have done the walking to this campsite. Getting water is just a matter of walking to the stream and filling up whatever your container is. So Everybody can upgrade to a D12 resource.
Sweet.
Because you guys pulled water out of this stream.
Marcus too.
Somebody, I would say somebody could do that. Yes, we'll say that somebody did this. I'll say that. Sure. Okay. Perfect. So everybody's at a D12.
Thank you.
You guys found this.
I need to roll for ammo, I think.
Oh yes, you do, because you took
a shot.
You took shots. Well, that's a 1, so you're gonna go down a tier.
What's Marcus's status? He's unconscious. We dragged him to camp. Is he comfortable? Are we tending to him?
He has a critical injury where his speed is reduced by half. So to that end, it also
4 days.
It affects the amount of distance that you guys can cover when you're hiking.
Okay.
Which
and this is 4 days. It affects him.
We're not really tracking that in the strictest sense, but
Okay.
but that would be part of it. But because that puts a lot of effort on my part to keep coming up with encounters for you guys when you hike, we're just gonna say that a nice good sleep tonight and somebody doing a medicine check for Marcus is gonna heal that up.
And when we do that rest, would my health go back from 0 to base, or because
no.
it's a critical, would it go to half? Okay.
No. So the way that rest works in this game, as opposed to D&D, is that every shift that you spend resting, you gain 1 hit point. There are 4 shifts in a day. So you can spend as much time as you want at this campsite that you guys have established. You got plenty of time. You're under no pressure. Nobody is imminently chasing you. You're near water, so you've got water. You've got potentially access to fish that you can catch. I know at one point Silas wanted to make a wolf skin hat that we never got an opportunity to do last session. So there's things like that you guys can do, but Marcus is fucking hurt. So his ability to match pace with you guys in terms of the amount of distance that you're going to cover when you travel is going to slow you down.
Okay, so he is hurt. Now that we have that fishing line, can we sew him up? Can I sew him up with that fucking fishing line and potentially? I'd like to stitch him up with using my multi-tool and fishing line and
yeah. So let's see. Let's
do my best to I don't know.
I want to try and give you I get where you're saying. Let's see how this would work out. So you have
survival or a crafting, hopefully.
So we're gonna call this a healing roll.
Shit.
But I am gonna give you your multi-tool will give you a +2. And I will say the fishing line gives you an additional +1, so you get 3 gear bonus on this.
Okay. My healing is dog shit, so 3 + 3. 1, 2, 3 + 1, 2, 3. It's not terrible. Come on, 6.
Perfect. All right, so I would say between that and a full shift of rest, will get Marcus to the point where he is mobile again. But in terms of hit points, and this is going to affect all of you guys. In terms of hit points, the rest is the only thing that's going to do this for you. So you guys have made it. I would say you're in the 3rd shift of the day at this point. So there's 2 more left in this day. If you guys want to do some foraging, you can do some foraging. Matt, I know that you mentioned that you want to make that hat out of the wolf pelt that you have. Honestly, I would recommend rest for most of you because you guys are pretty beaten up from that C4 explosion. But you guys tell me what you want to do. You've got 2 shifts that you can spend doing whatever you want.
Marcus is definitely going to rest for those shifts.
Okay.
To get some hit points back.
Cool. I would go ahead and just go ahead and do it. We'll just say that you do spend those next 2 shifts resting. So go ahead and restore 2 of those hit points for yourself.
All right.
I'd like to go. I'd like to maybe go hunting, trapping.
Trapping.
Set some traps. Yeah.
Okay, so I gotta look up how this works real quick. I'm pretty sure it's just a
Survival.
Yeah, it's a survival roll. So give me a survival roll. Which is pretty good for Bunk, if I'm right. Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's my biggest thing.
Roll me a d6. 5. Okay. Silas, you're gonna try and make a hat out of that wolf pelt?
No, I think I would. My food resource is at a D12 tier, so I'm gonna try and. I have a camp kitchen in my backpack, and I'm gonna try and make food, and so people can just kind of, it's not gonna be a Bunk stew by any means, but I'm gonna try and cook up some food.
Okay, so real quick.
Did I? So I went hunting. Did I bring in fucking enough meat? I'm imagining Bunk takes a shower, kind of tries to stitch up Marcus a little bit, and then I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go find us some more food, something, just like we can all like just feast and rest up and shit. Because Peter is real hurt too. Peter got fucked up.
Yeah, you got hit
right?
pretty hard with that throwing knife. So
I want to make sure that Peter gets all rested up too, and I especially want to pay like. Now that he's kind of like in a vulnerable type state, I want to like make a show of like extending him all the fucking kindnesses and being like super, getting him on our side and like, here you go, buddy. Here's a,
cool.
Making him food and all that shit.
So roll me a d6. So you set up a hunting snare. Right.
Yeah.
And over the course of the 6 hours, when you go back to it, you find that you've snared a fox. So that fox is going to yield enough meat to feed 4 of you.
Okay.
For the day. So that would be enough food for 4 of you to make your food roll, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Do you want to try and collect this fox pelt as well?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Give me a
Good luck. You're
survival or crafting, whichever's better
bound
for
to get
you.
one.
Survival. And
Okay.
I get the multi-tool too, right?
Yeah, I would say that works for this guy.
8 + 2.
Oh shit! Do you want to push?
Jeez.
You want to push that?
Dude, yes, I do want to push it. I don't understand. Every time I try, I just mutilate. It's embarrassing. This happened to me last fucking time too.
So this
It's
time
just
you're only going to
embarrassing.
roll 7 base die though, but the 2 gear and a stress die.
Okay, 7.
Hey, Greenlee, for my 2 rounds of rest or whatever, does that take stress down?
All
Like
of your
one
stress is
down
gone.
for each-
You only spend.
Okay.
Just one.
I did. I succeeded with 1.
Christ. Yes, but you did roll a 1 on your stress die, which means you panic. So, roll a d6.
Here's why I panicked. Because I'm supposed to be this like master survivalist, and so far every single time I try to make a decent pelt, I keep mutilating
wonder if-
this
yeah,
thing.
That's
I
the
look like
effect
I
of
wonder if it's
stress. I mean,
I wonder if it's all that whiskey.
let's not forget, you also were blown up by a Burk of C4 this morning. You just had to fight off 4 bandits. You finally found
That's
some
right,
rest. You haven't rested yet. Dorian popped up from behind you in the middle of trying to march for water. So yeah, your nerves are a little shot right now.
They could try to take a bath, and he just comes up out of nowhere. This guy.
So roll
Just
me
right nose to nose.
1d6, and as long as it's nothing other than a 6, you're gonna be okay. Oh man, I
Thank
saw
God.
that 6 for a hot second. All right, so you're fine.
Yeah.
You have a little bit of a moment, but it passes. You do get a success on the pelt, so fox pelts. I would say you very deftly at least get the fox tail, if nothing else. And you make yourself a nice fox pelt. It literally looks like, you could make a rug out of this if you want. It's not huge. I mean, it's a fox, but you
I want
got
a sweet ass fox hat.
okay.
If he's making a wolf hat, I want a fox hat.
All right, so here's what I need to explain to you. The survival, the trapping, that's one shift. That took you one shift. If you want to make another hat, that's a second shift of activity. So for the 2 shifts that you had available for this day, you want to spend the second one making a pelt? You want to do something with this pelt? Okay.
Fuck yeah, what else am I doing?
Okay.
Rest.
You're going to rest. That's what you could do.
I don't gotta rest.
Okay,
I've
so
rested enough.
here's what I'm going to say is if you don't
Gotta take
rest,
exhausted.
you're going to take the exhausted condition.
Okay, fine. I'll rest.
Okay. So, you go ahead and restore 1 hit point, and also
I'm at,
you're at max again.
yeah. I've been at max. I never took any damage.
Oh,
After
you
I got blown up, my second wind
Oh, that's right.
re-healed me to full on.
Well, no, it doesn't
So I've
reheal
been
you to
at
full up. It restores 1 hit
Yeah.
point.
You're restored, but I only took 1 because of you said from the die that I rolled, however many 6s was how many damage I took.
Oh, you only
And that
took
was
1
2
point of
sixes,
damage?
but I only took 1 point of damage, and then I healed.
No, you took 1 point of damage for every 6. So you took 2 points of damage when you got hit by that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm at 6 hit. I'm at -1. So,
Okay.
So I'm at 6.
All right.
And then
So-
I took a rest. Did I heal? I don't know.
If well, here's the thing. I thought you were worse off. So you can choose not to rest. You will take the exhausted condition, and you're not going to restore any hit points. So but you would.
Yeah, I don't want to take exhausted. So
Okay. And also, resting mitigates stress. So if you rest, it'll get rid of that stress that you just had. Okay.
okay.
Silas, what is Silas doing?
I was gonna make food for everyone.
Okay. So Bunk comes back with his fox meat. He's gonna hand it over to you. He's like, here. I assuming, unless you want to hold on to
No,
it.
that was the goal.
Okay, cool. So Bunk hands over some fox meat to you. You're gonna use your camp kitchen to make some food.
Yep.
Perfect. I don't think there's any need to roll for this.
Okay.
So Silas whips up some food. It can feed the 4 of you. It can feed up to 4 of you. So you've got the 4 of you plus Peter. Who wants to eat? Actually, Peter's gonna say,
I will wait.
All right. There's Fox if you want it.
okay. Nobody needs to roll because it's foraged food. You don't need to roll for your resource die. What does Silas want to do for the second shift of time?
So I too need to rest up a little bit, but if I do that, what's our watch situation for this camp?
Peter will stay up.
All right.
All
So
right,
So
I-
if I did rest, did I heal and take
You-
away 1, or did
If you rest, you restore 1 hit point, but all of your stress goes away.
I? Okay. So
And
I
Ryan,
rest.
if I was resting, do I get to eat? And if I do eat, what does that do?
Yeah, I would say that you wake up long enough to shovel a few spoonfuls of food into your mouth, and then you
Does
take
that
another rest.
does that move my food D up from an 8 to
You
a
don't need to
10,
do
or-
anything. This was all foraged food. It replaces the need to make a food roll. You only have to roll for your food die if you're going into your stored food reserves. But since Bunk caught a fox and
Gotcha.
Silas is cooking it up, you guys have food available, so you don't need to go into your storage.
Gotcha.
Sweet. All right, so Peter is going to keep watch. And the rest of you can rest.
Dorian's gonna stay up because he's afraid they're gonna leave him if he falls asleep.
Okay.
We're gonna disappear.
Yeah.
So the evening, you guys you settle in. The first half of the watch goes by without any issues. Second half of the watch, Peter approaches Dorian and he's like,
So tell me more about this group. They sent you off on a mission to find Georgia? What is Georgia to your group and what is Georgia to you?
Georgia is, I guess was, okay. I feel like I can trust you.
I don't know why
Can I
you
call
feel that, but
Can I call you Pete?
you may not.
Okay. Peter.
Perfect.
So I stumbled upon her crew when I was coming out of the city because it was getting overrun by someone, I don't know. It was one of them factions. It might have been Voidoids, but I didn't want to stick around to see who it was. And I stumbled upon her crew, and they all took a liking to me instantly because of my undeniable skills. And they thought that I should be the leader of the group. But, they were teenagers and
They were
they
kids.
thought I was a cool. Well, they were
No
young
wonder they're
adults.
impressed with you. I just say I don't see it.
They were very mature for their age. But when she left to go, I think she went to go hunting or something. And I mistakenly said that she was going to let me be their leader. And then I started freaking out. And so I thought I'd go after her to bring her back.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. And now I don't even know how to get back. So,
Yes, which is surprising considering your undeniable skills. But nonetheless, I have a plan. I know where I am going. The only thing I'm trying to figure out is that now that we are without Alex, wondering if you are baggage or if you have somewhere to go.
I feel like I'm always an asset somehow. You wouldn't have been able to kill that girl without my distraction.
That is debatable, but I will give you credit that it was quite helpful.
Plus, you wouldn't have found your gold without me. I'm like a lucky charm.
I am not ready to write you off just yet.
Only good things have happened when I'm around you. Like before you met me, you got blown up. And then you met me and you weren't getting blown up.
That is hard to argue with.
At this point, he's just sort of like, he doesn't know what else to say. You seem impervious to his obvious attempts to sort of like psychologically threaten you. And so he's just like, since you're so astute in your insight and your ability to read people, you get the impression that you're not sure if he's just sick of listening to your bullshit or if he's just so tired that he doesn't care anymore, but he's just sort of like,
I'm going to go watch this side of the camp now.
And he walks away from you. And the rest of the watch goes uneventful. So that's we'll say that it's roughly midnight at this point. But Peter is at this point he is exhausted. He has not slept in a while. and he asks if any of the crew would like to take a shift watching, taking a.
So I was able
I
to
instantly-
take a shift of rest, and I healed my 1 hit point. I volunteer.
Okay.
Dorian's gonna stay up as well because again, he's afraid that everyone's gonna leave him in the middle of the night.
Okay.
I'm awake. I took the one. I already rested, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I'm awake and I'm full everything. So
Okay. Yeah, you don't have to rest. I'm just saying that there are some of you that do need to rest, and maybe it's just Marcus at this point. But I know
If other people are going to stay up, I will gladly take another shift of rest so I can heal again.
yeah,
Yeah,
Peter
I'll
definitely
stay
needs
up.
to. Peter definitely
I'll
needs
stay
to.
up and take watch.
Okay.
Bunk will take watch.
Okay. So Bunk, Peter said you mentioned to Peter that you'll take a rest. And he's like, he looks at you and he's like,
Keep an eye on this one.
and then he
Sorry,
just
Dorian.
lays down and collapses. And so it's just you and Dorian at this point. And the eerie silence of the Colorado wilderness.
Hey,
No,
wanna play some Egyptian rat screw?
I want to sit here in silence until my shift is over.
Oh, okay. I mean, you can go back to sleep. I'll watch.
No offense, son, but you appeared out of fucking nowhere to a lady that was poisoned by hemlock. I don't know.
Whoa,
Your story smells worse than fucking Peter's wounds.
She was poisoned? I thought she blew up.
No. That fucking crazy preacher asshole. We showed up and she was already comatose from hemlock poisoning. And
And you
That
guys
crazy
just let her
preacher.
die?
there's nothing you can do. We kept the preacher away from her as long as we could. There's nothing you can do. There's no way to fix hemlock poisoning. Either you survive it or you don't. She didn't, son.
I trust you. I saw the way you skinned that fox. You know your way around anatomy and biology.
Rest assured, I made sure that fucking preacher got his end. Don't you worry.
Good. I just wish I could bring her back to the group.
Explain what your relationship was to this woman again.
She. It's one of those like on again, off again, romantic entanglements you find yourself in when you look like somebody like me. I know you knew that back when you were, I don't know, 60 years ago when you were like 20, maybe.
How old do you think I am?
I mean, as old as Gandalf was in The Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yes, we met each other. It was a meet cute at a river, kind of like how I met you when I popped up right there. Except it was her doing it this time. That's how I learned that trick. Anyway, she brought me back to her crew, and she's had it was like an old orphanage or something. And so there was just this school of boys that were like 14, 15, showed them some magic tricks. They thought I was so cool. It was very nice to be admired again. And then
You're describing Wendy and the Lost Boys.
Am I Peter Pan?
You could very well be. So, what you're telling me is you met a girl in a river. She took you back. You immediately overthrew her. She left, got poisoned by a preacher, and then you ran out of the woods conveniently 5 minutes after the whole thing exploded. Something don't add up, son.
I didn't kick her out. She like left for the evening, and when she didn't come back, I thought I should go look for her since I was the adult.
I thought you said you overslept.
Yeah,
So
I did when I was tracking her.
when in the middle of this conversation, because it's getting to like it's almost kind of like this apex of interrogation. Whoever has the higher observation score, give me an observation roll.
I got a 6.
Okay.
What's yours?
What's Dorian's observation score?
Oh, without the wits?
Altogether,
wits?
combined. Yeah.
Oh, 5.
Yeah. So I want to have Bunk give me an observation roll. We're gonna call that one that's folded over on itself a 6. So you hear off in the distance the sound of a motor, like a Jeep or something to that effect.
I listen. I try to discern what direction it's coming from.
It is coming.
I'm still like trying to talk at him while he's doing that too.
Yeah, because you don't know.
I say, shut the fuck up. Hang on, you hear
that? Roll observation for me, Dorian. You do hear this. You hear the same thing.
Oh yeah. What is that?
I just kind of hold my finger on my lips, and then I also put it over his lips real gently. And I'm just kind of I'm not looking at him. I'm looking the distance, really trying to focus on the sound to see where it's coming from, and see how far away I think it is.
It is coming from the northwest. I'm sorry, northeast. Sorry, northeast. It's coming from the northeast. And it sounds like, if you had to guess, it's less than a quarter mile away. But you can hear it because you can hear it because it sounds like it's a large engine. Not really designed to be like a sleek, stealthy vehicle. It's not it is utilitarian mobility sort of vehicle.
That sounds like the world's largest ATV.
Is it nighttime?
Yeah, it's. I would say at this point it's like 3 a.m.
Bunk immediately jumps up and kicks dirt on the fire and dumps water on the fire.
Okay, cool.
Immediately, and then gently tries to raise everybody. Very, very quietly, just kind of like shaking them awake, just with my finger over my.
Okay.
I try to raise and get everybody awake.
Okay. So you successfully wake everybody up. Peter's a bit grumpy. It was fast asleep. And you how are you communicating? Because everybody's just like, what the fuck? Peter's.
As I'm shaking them awake, I have my fingers on my lips because they're and I'm tapping them and doing this.
Mm-hmm.
As I do it, and I'm pointing to my ear, and I hope that shuts them the fuck up and they kind of listen and hopefully they can hear. By this time,
yeah,
is it getting closer?
I would say that at this point, it's close enough that it's not a thing you really need to listen for. Like you can just hear it. Okay. At this point, by the time everybody's awake, I would say it's, by your estimation, less than 100 yards out. And what you're also noticing is like what appears to be a spotlight sort of scanning across the area. So what I want everybody to do at this point is to give me stealth rolls. I need everybody to give me a stealth roll.
Yeah.
Hey, Ryan, if we were resting, for that round.
Mhm.
Did we rest long enough to gain our hit point,
Yes.
or were we woken up before?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. I would say you guys got an additional. So this would be the third shift of rest at this point.
Yeah. Okay. And for this stealth roll, if we're wearing camo, do we get the bonus? or
Yes,
no?
because you're actively trying to hide from people. So one.
Got it.
Oh, +2 gear.
7,
Fuck yeah.
2 gear.
3, 4,
Oh, Jesus
Oh,
Christ, Marcus. Okay, so here's the thing. Like, as a group, you guys have just been railing sixes. So I would say that you guys all successfully find a way to hide. To the extent that you're even able to... You are mindful enough to find like some pine boughs and like cover your gear so that it's not reflective, or it's you're camouflaging your gear. You distinctly can tell that there is some sort of patrol vehicle, and Peter runs to Silas stealthily. He kind of runs up to Silas and he's like,
You say you have an in, so to speak, with the Sovereign Vanguard.
I know a passphrase. I don't know how far it will get me.
How confident are you in this?
Last time I got twitchy and stabbed a guy in the neck.
Do you think you can keep from stabbing someone if it comes to us and having an interaction?
Yeah, I can.
For now, let's just hope they don't spot us.
to that end, you guys rolled a shitload of sixes. They don't see you. But what you do see is a very large, patrol vehicle. I would say it looks like, military grade. There's one person driving, one person operating the spotlight, and two people in the back that are walking behind the vehicle that are just sort of in patrol with the vehicle. It's clearly on patrol. It is clearly looking for something. Maybe not anything in particular, but it's just out on patrol looking for hazards. But it doesn't spot you. They are dressed in military garb. They have automatic rifles. They look like they are not people that you would like to fuck with. They get within, I would say, 30 yards of you. And you're sort of downhill. You're on sort of like a sloping grade towards this little basin where you guys have kind of nestled in, which gives you sort of an advantage in terms of their ability to kind of like locate you, because as they tip the spotlight down, it just hits the ground and creates a cast of shadow over where you guys are at. But that thing passes right past you.
I'd like to think I'm fucking on the ground looking at them through the sniper rifle this whole time, watching as they get closer and closer and closer.
Okay. Okay. So the vehicle keeps going, and of the two guards that are walking behind, you see one of them sort of peel off, and he looks in. He sort of kind of takes a gander at your position. You can't tell if he sees you, but you can tell that he is looking at your location.
Fuck. I take my hand and I cover the scope.
Okay. Does anybody else want to do anything?
Stand silent.
Everybody's going to stay silent?
Yeah, I'm not moving.
Okay. So he looks for a couple of seconds. He even takes a couple of steps forward. Kind of cocks his head, and I need Bunk to give me an insight roll.
Fuck. Insight. Oh, god damn it. This is the worst. 3.
Oh my
Yes.
God.
Yes.
So, despite the fact that it looks like he is staring right at you, you can tell, you just intuitively know that he doesn't actually see you. It just looks, he's just staring at you, but he doesn't actually see you. But it looks like he is staring right into your soul. And he pauses for a minute. And then he shoulders his weapon and continues moving on.
I was holding my breath the whole time.
Dude, my playlist is on like this very intense, like, like I was like, oh my god.
So yeah, he spends a couple of hot seconds looking as though he is staring right at you, but then he peels back off into formation, and the patrol continues on, and goes right past you. Peter goes back to Silas and says,
I don't know how often they come through, but we should assume we will see them again.
Yeah, gotcha.
Be ready with that passphrase.
I am.
I don't want to have to... I would prefer to not have to tangle with the Sovereign Vanguard. I would like to bullshit our way past them. Whatever magic words you have to say, let's be ready with that.
I definitely am.
so, the patrol, you guys are now aware that a regular patrol is monitoring the area. You're not sure how frequently they pass through. You don't know what their route is. You don't know how far out they've come. On the map, give me 2 seconds. I'll look at this map real quick because I want to kind of give you an idea as to where they might be. So if you look at the map and you see where it says Elk Meadows, you guys are about... I would say you're right about where that X is for the Elk Meadows Trail. And they are following sort of like an old forestry road. You guys are off of this old forestry road, but it's an old, like forestry service fire road. But Peter has expressed that you guys are headed towards the Tabernash Rodeo, which you could get to. It's not terribly far. It's probably a half day's hike from your location. But Marcus is still kind of banged up. Peter is still kind of banged up. But you do get the impression that if this were daylight, you would have been spotted. Without a doubt, they would have seen you. So the route that you guys are going to try and take, that running into the Sovereign Vanguard patrol is going to be a possibility, despite the fact that you are not heading straight through town. But Peter turns to Silas and says,
I say we take advantage of the dark while we can. Continue to rest up until first light. They're not going to be back. They haven't been. They spent 6 hours. We were here 6 hours without trouble. So at the very least, we know we have a 6-hour window.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I agree. Can I hear this?
yeah, he's saying it to Silas, but he's not hiding it from anybody else.
I agree. Everybody needs to continue to rest up. We can move in 5 hours and still get an hour jump on this next patrol.
Okay. So Peter suggests that he's like, I need rest. If we're going to make a push to the drop-off location, I want to make sure that I'm fresh in case we do run into this patrol again. But I say at first light, we break camp
and we head north.
Yeah.
Aye, Pete.
All right. So, with that in mind, I think that's a good place to end it for tonight. We'll just assume that everybody takes another shift of rest. So, Marcus, go ahead and give yourself another hit point back. If anybody else had anything they wanted to do other than rest, what does Bunk want to do?
I want to try to make that fucking fox hat.
Okay.
I'm sitting there with him trying to make a wolf hat
Okay, both of you give
because
me...
I'm full up on hit points. I don't need to rest anymore.
Okay, cool.
Same. I'm next. No stress.
Both of you give me crafting rolls.
All right.
And I would say the multi-tool plays here, so if you've got a bonus from the multi-tool.
Yeah.
Dorian's gonna stay awake again because he's afraid everyone's gonna leave him.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, Bunk, you successfully make... well, why don't you describe to me what both of you very successfully... Bunk, why don't you describe what this hat looks like?
Imagine what a coonskin cap would look like with
Okay.
that coon tail.
Yeah.
This is the same shit, only with a beautiful foxtail, that beautiful red. Only you can see kind of the fucking foxes is like on the fucking forehead
Okay.
area. It looks rad as shit,
I
it's warm.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would say that as it applies to making camp rolls, if anybody fails like the making camp roll and you have to roll against cold, that'll give you a plus run versus resisting cold, if that makes sense.
I then want to go up to Peter,
Mhm.
and I want to say, I made you this. I made you this fox skin cap. I noticed you didn't have a hat. I just wanted to say, good faith. It's good to. I know you can't trust us. You know, I know you'd seem like the guy that was going it alone, but you know, I want you to know that we're with you. We're on your side. Here's a peace offering, and I give him this well-made fox hat for once in my goddamn life.
So Peter takes the hat and he looks at it for a minute. He's like, he's almost like confused. Like maybe this is the first gift anybody has ever given Peter. He's like, thank you. He kind of puts it on and he seems very pleased with it. He kind of does one of these things where he kind of like plays around with the aspect of the fact that the tail kind of like bops around a little bit. And he's like, this is nice. I like this.
Suits you.
Mr. Bunk, that's a nice hat. That's good craftsmanship right there.
Shut up, Dorian.
So
I think me and Peter both say "shut up, Dorian."
yeah, but at the same time,
fucking
at the same time, shut up, Dorian.
because me and Peter are having a moment, and Dorian just fucking interrupts it immediately, just breaks it, ruins it.
So Silas, describe for me your wolf skin hat.
So I have it in my inventory as a meager wolf pelt because
Yeah.
Bunk wasn't super successful, as we know, in his harvesting. So it's well made enough, like it's serviceable, but it's kind of patchy in places. Like,
Okay.
there's a little fur missing here and there. There's actually one ear that is like sticking up on one side.
Bacon cap.
Peter kind of looks at yours and is like,
Yours is like if you could have done this.
The skin I was working with wasn't as great as that wolf pelt, or as that fox pelt. I saw the fox pelt. It looked really good when he started, and it looks good now. Mine, this is how it started.
It's a poor
My
craftsman
bad.
that
I'll
blames
take
his tools.
responsibility for that. Little whiskey.
Hey, it's warm.
Hey, Silas, that's a good looking hat, man. You can only deal with what you got, you know?
Yeah, thanks, new guy.
so same deal for Silas. I would say if there's ever a moment where I ask you to roll stamina versus the cold condition, you get an additional +1. That'd be a gear bonus. Does Marcus have anything to do before we any closing actions before we close this out?
No, just kind of rubs his leg and says something along the lines of, "I'm gonna feel that every time it rains."
So to that end, we're going to spend one more shift in rest. So that will have been a full day at this point, a full day, because we spent 4 full shifts. So Marcus can restore 4 hit points at this point. But in terms of progression for tonight, I think that's where we're going to wrap it up. Peter's ready to push on at first light, and he kind of hopes that all of you are ready to roll with him. But that's what we'll end it for tonight. I want to do this thing that I started doing with the Avernus campaign, where we talk about highlights and wishes. Concept being just what you thought was like a highlight moment for tonight. And perhaps, and the wishes are something that you'd like, something that you hope may happen during the course of the campaign. So we will start with Shane, since you had a dramatic entry into tonight's session. What highlights for you tonight?
Highlight was finally revealing my full character and blowing people up, but also them surviving, so it wasn't a 10-minute broadcast. And I like.
And as far as wishes,
Wishes, man. I don't know. I just really like how this game plays completely differently than our like Dungeons and Dragons campaign, because this is like, I feel like this is very character. There's a lot of interactions with the characters, and I like how we're all still trying to figure each other out.
Cool.
Especially now that like we know that Macaulay was this trying to blow everybody up, and now now everyone's got like these. There could be secret motivations behind everybody. You never know.
I would agree. So you just like the character interactions, is what you're saying?
Yeah,
The depth of the character interactions. All right, cool. Same thing. Corrado. We'll start with highlights. What was a highlight for you tonight?
I mean, right off the bat, Shane
Felt.
fucking blew us all up. That was crazy. That was very unexpected. I would have never in a million years thought that shit was going to happen. And it also totally forced my character. So Bunk was a very mistrustful dude that was like in his own fucking bunker forever because he doesn't trust anybody. He's finally come out of the bunker, had this little pack of guys that he was kind of starting to trust, and like it was the family he was missing and human interaction he was missing. Then one of them just blows himself up and he's like, oh, right, this is why I don't trust anyone. And so he's like going right back. Like, I'm forced to make character decisions based on, and it's, yeah. So that's pretty cool. I like that.
All right. So wishes for the campaign?
Wishes. And I didn't even think about this until you had that Vanguard patrol pass.
Mm-hmm.
But there comes a point in every Metal Gear Solid game where Snake gets captured, dude.
Okay.
Snake gets captured. Maybe there's a torture aspect, and all your gear gets stolen, and you got to make it back out of there.
So like a hostage scenario sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, like,
okay,
captured, taken to the base, all in separate, like, forced separation of the party.
Okay.
And forced having, I don't know. I think that might be rad as shit, deep in enemy territory, and just be like, where the fuck are we? Waking up, trying to solve it.
Cool. Gregory, same questions. What was a highlight for tonight?
For me, the highlight, the realization that we need to get Peter this bullion, but by no means does he need to know that I lied to him initially. Dorian's character, I like. He's very, it's not douchey, but there's an aspect of him that's brand new character from my 4th or 5th session, whatever this is, from what we've had. But I like the teamwork, from me getting the bullion, for me to Bunk, and then Bunk planning it on the people to get Peter shifted from thinking, hey, these guys are lying to me, to, okay, this is a crazy world. We got what we needed so we can move on. And now I've got people to go with me. So that would be my highlight. I like the teamwork and
the sneaky fuckery of evading Peter's suspicion. Cool. All right.
Dorian's totally a fuckboy, by the way.
I can tell by the ab. Yeah.
So same question about wishes. What do you hope?
Wishes.
What would you like to see in the campaign?
So the one thing that I've noticed from start for me is we're always reacting instead of being proactive. As far as this world, people are always ambushing. So I hope at some point this group is able to maybe switch the roles and be the one ambushing and see how that goes. I think that'd be fun, because it seems like this world is, everybody's always coming at us. So I'd like to be proactive instead of reactive.
Okay.
So you weren't with us on the first couple. We totally had a giant ambush of the brewery, or where was it?
Yeah, it was.
It was herbologists or whatever.
Yeah, I missed all that. So it sounds fun. And
just doing like the first or second one where we came in and found the kid. You remember?
Yeah, the ambush at the.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
They just drove the giant ATV through the fucking window and just. Yeah, that was we did that. It was amazing. It was awesome.
Fun. And then McFarlane, what was a highlight moment tonight?
Highlight moment tonight was the C4, because I didn't see it coming. I know Shane thought that Silas was onto him, but Silas had no freaking clue. Like, it was like that hide the C4 was just get rid of it. Like, Silas didn't want anything to do with it. Although he is like holding a hand grenade in his backpack, so I don't know. He's not afraid of explosives, but so yeah, just like the shock of that moment was really, really cool. Okay. I enjoyed that thoroughly.
Sweet.
And then wishes.
Yeah.
Since we are nearing Vanguard, and like you guys know that I have at least some connection in my past to the Vanguard, I have a feeling that more will be revealed, and I'm very much looking forward to how that plays out.
Nice.
Because when we had the chance to have a little bit of that kind of play, I, freaked out and killed the people, which turned out to be a great thing. But
I loved it. I mean, it was fantastic last time.
But you alluded to the fact that there was more going on there, or like you were putting something in your pocket that you had for those people for future sessions, and I look forward to that.
Sweet. I think those are all super fun ideas that we will figure out how to build into this story.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Hang on. What's your highlight, Ryan?
My highlight? Ooh.
Yeah.
I mean, I just like everybody else, I like the C4 moment where Macaulay blew everybody up. The thing for me though is that like I was planning that, and I have been coordinating with Shane for like weeks to like set this up. So it was not as shocking for me as it was for you guys, but like it was super fun to watch your guys' reaction. But more than that, what I really liked was the moment when I asked you to roll the insight about whether or not you could tell that Vanguard soldier was looking at you or not. Because had you not successfully rolled insight, what I was going to tell you is that he's looking right at you. Like, that's what I was going to tell you. I was like, he is looking right at you. What do you want to do?
Oh,
And then, because like, it would have gone a totally different way.
Bunk definitely would have shot.
Yeah,
for sure.
So for me, like, I love those moments where I get an opportunity to kind of play with your sense of understanding to create or trigger an opportunity for you guys to react. And so, and I think the greatest part about that moment is that you only had 3 dice to roll. It's not like you had 9 dice to roll. You had 3, and you rolled 1 6. And so it's like, the stakes are high. The stakes are incredibly high. Your opportunity for success is very low. And had you failed, I would have told you he's looking right at you. And so it creates these moments of tension where it's like, if he fails, this is going to go sideways. So I really like those moments where the tension is high, the stakes are high, and there's this capacity to release that tension in a dramatic way that sort of sets things apart from the chaos. So that was fun for me. Wishes.
I knew the moment I put that sniper rifle up and you rolled it, I was like, oh fuck, he can see the shine out the glare. I was like, oh no, I put my hand. I knew it. Oh god.
So wishes for me. Wishes for me. I don't know. I hope we just keep playing. I really like watching you guys interact in terms of like your character interactions. I like creating opportunities for you guys to do a lot more role play instead of just like combat scenarios and whatnot. I think you guys are surprisingly really diving into the role play aspect of this instead of it just being a murder hobo fest like it was when we started out. But it's really cool. I mean, I think that the interactions that we have with some of the factions and some of the backstories that you guys all have and some of the secrets that you guys are keeping from each other is kind of cool to me. So I really just enjoy setting up the dominoes for you guys to knock them down. So I just look forward to setting up more dominoes for you guys to knock down. And it's fun for me because in the moment, you guys will say things in character interactions that you don't realize are creating opportunities for me to do that. Like tonight, some of the things that you guys have just said off the cuff have given me like ideas for what you guys can encounter. So that's super fun for me. When you guys are just like feeding me information unknowingly, it's like, oh, I don't know, we'll do that, you know. So I really like playing this guy with you guys. This is a lot of fun for me.
It's a ton of fun.
Yeah.
We enjoy it as well. Keep doing it.
Yeah, man. All right.
Appreciate
Well, we can continue on in terms of having a post-session discussion, but in terms of the stream and in the recording, I'm going to stop it here. Thanks to the one guy that watched tonight. Don't know who you are. Love you. We'll hope to see you again in 2 weeks. But we'll stop stream there. Thanks.